more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
This season on the new podcast, Rip Current, the story of the only two women who tried to assassinate an American president.
A woman fired a shot at President Ford in San Francisco this afternoon.
One was a protege of Charles Manson.
26-year-old Lynette Fromm, nicknamed Squeaky.
The other, a middle-aged housewife undercover for the FBI.
Identified by police as Sarah Jean Moore.
Listen to Rip Current on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Rip Current and start listening.
I'm sitting here with Jeff Jr. of Trajan Wealth. Jeff, I'm concerned because we're in an election year, right? Which, sure to shake things up and all that. But last year was a great year in the market, and it's just not looking so good this year.
Well, yeah, the market is cyclical, and that's why it's a perfect time to diversify and lock in some of those gains. You may even qualify for an upfront bonus of up to 30% just for opening an account and up to 12% guaranteed growth for your retirement income.
Up to 30% for just opening an account and up to 12% per year? All guaranteed?
Yeah, and you probably won't hear many other advisors talking about this because they don't have access. I will say it's because of the high interest rate climate we're in, and this probably won't last long.
If you're concerned about what this messy election could do to your finances, call Trajan Wealth today and learn how to get up to 30% bonus and up to 12% growth per year for retirement income. Call 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. DBA in most states says Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Paid advertisement.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. Call A1 Garage Door Service today.
A1 from day one.
Guys, it's time to deploy the secret weapon. What's that? It's Blue Chew. This stuff is absolutely amazing. And it's a unique online service. They deliver the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but it's chewable. It's a fraction of the cost. And wait until you hear the deal I'm going to hook you up with here. The thing about Blue Chew that's fantastic is it's an online prescription service, so you don't have to go to the doctor and have an awkward conversation. You don't have to wait in line at the pharmacy. It comes right to your door in a discreet package, and you're off to the races. This is something you should be using to take your B game and bring it up to an A game. And that is what you need to do today. There's a special deal for you right now. Try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code TNJ at checkout. You just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code, the letters TNJ to receive your first month free. Check out Blue Chew now.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine.
If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando.
You've heard of a pro tip. Here's a mo tip. After an accident, don't speak to the insurance company. They aren't your friend, and any statement you give them could be used against you. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, deposit. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and Helene.
It is Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. Lots to get to today. From J.D. Vance Vs Tim Walz to Jimmy Carter makes it to 100 years old. And North Carolina is in chaos after Hurricane Helene. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's going on?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
That means you share the show. It's as easy as that. Really, I could shut up right there, but I won't. I'll tell you more, because if you're watching over on YouTube, the way you share the show, just hit that like button. It's easy. It spreads the word about the stream and helps us out. Excuse me, helps us out. If you are just listening to the show like any normal person, you too can share the show at a stoplight, with a dispatch, with anything. Just tell somebody about the show, and it helps us spread the word on a Share the Show Tuesday. All right, how's everybody doing on a Tuesday?
Oh, not bad. Yeah, pretty good.
How you?
Okay, yeah, hanging in there, doing well. Things are going to be okay today. I think I got my allergy medicine dialed in now. Yes, yes, good.
How
good
many allergy pills did you take today?
3 and 2 sprays today is where we're at.
All
it's
right.
probably not good, but
Then he's going to sneak away mid-show and go take 6 more.
No, I don't. I have done that, but I don't usually do that. Sometimes I just try to muscle through. Sometimes I go gurgle some water. I'll go, gurgle some like salt water or something. But generally, I just go with what I picked that day, and I feel good about the combo today. So let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers to the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours, and we go to an auction, friends. This auction taking place, I think, in the state of Texas. I'm just guessing here by, the state of Texas being in the background of what I'm looking at. There's a big old Texas sign here. And this gentleman just paid $4,000 for a Taylor Swift guitar. Here we go.
Guess we don't need the wall hanger.
You don't need the hammer, smash it on the ground.
Mash it on the ground. He hits it with a hammer.
That's a waste of money.
Destroying the $4,000 Taylor Swift guitar. Also, there's a gun on a tripod in the background. How Texas is this auction?
That's the next item up for grabs.
Try to smash that.
He should have paid the $4,000 for the guitar, another couple thousand for the gun, and then just unload it.
That would have been way more epic. Also, this guy got ripped off because the Swifties arrived to defend themselves, and they said this wasn't a signed guitar. And it wasn't Taylor Swift's guitar. It was an insert from a signed version of the Midnight's album that somebody affixed to the guitar pick. And that album cost $49. And that came with the signature. So we just have a guitar that somebody stuck a $49 signature on that went for $4,000. So somebody, for some reason, could hit it with a hammer. I don't understand the world. But, here we are today, and that was his decision. So, congrats, sir. Yeah, you did it.
I could think of all the things, multiple things to do with $4,000, but sure, you do you, homie.
How many $4,000 do you have if your idea with your $4,000 is to buy a acoustic guitar and smash it up in front of a crowd of people?
Was this a charity auction at least?
It was. Yes, okay. It was a charity auction, so at least it went to a good cause. But it just seems like you could spend your money in a smarter way than that. Like maybe, just perhaps, getting a nice little birthday present for 100-year-old Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
He made it, everybody. They said it couldn't be done. The man has been in hospice for 76 years now. It's been a long time. And here he is still alive at 100 years old. I don't know how things are going, but you know it's something when Biden sends you a happy birthday message that says, congrats, you made it to 100. Jimmy Carter, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you should be happy that the man made it to 100 years old. I mean, some of you probably are rooting for him to die, but normal people just go, all right, good for you. Unless maybe a family member might know what state of disrepair Jimmy Carter is actually in and say, I would just, now's the time.
He's been on strings, actually, for 8 years.
This is bad.
Y'all didn't see it.
Things are really rough. I saw a photo the other day. The actress that just recently passed away who was in the Harry Potter movies, I don't recall her name. Maggie Smith. I believe it was 6 days before she died. She showed up at some restaurant, and the people at the restaurant recognized her, and they were clapping. And she's at this table, and she's enjoying her meal, and she's having a drink. And she looks elderly, but she looks fine. And within 6 days, R.I.P. dead, she's done and over with. Jimmy Carter is just hanging on, man. Just hanging on by a thread.
So at his wife's funeral, they, cut to him a couple times on the live feed, and
it
doesn't look as he looks dead. He looked very dead to me.
You could utilize him as an exhibit in Halloween Horror Nights if you wanted to. Live or not, you could put him up there and scare people.
What's crazy to me is that Jimmy Carter's grandson, Hugo, was in the show Claim to Fame that we talked about on the show that we like, where it's like a reality show about people who are relatives of famous people. And he got knocked out, and he said, my grandfather is Jimmy Carter, and, he just went into hospice. That was season 2 of Claim to Fame. There's been a whole other season since then. That was last year.
I think people were giving him condolences.
Yes.
at that time. And now every call he gets like, how's Judge? I don't know. Son of a bitch, still alive. He's still there. He's still alive out there. Here's Biden with his message.
Mr. President, on behalf of the entire Biden family and the American people, happy 100th birthday. Mr. President, you've always been a moral force for our nation and the world. I recognized that as a young senator. That's why I supported you so early. You're a voice of courage, conviction, compassion. Most of all, beloved friend Jill, me, and our family. We know this is the first birthday without Rosalind.
Oh.
It's bittersweet, but we also know she's always with you. She's in your heart. She never go away. She may be gone, but she's always going to be with you.
We also know you're closer to her than we are.
Yeah, I still stand by my favorite photo in the world.
The one where they're in the White House where Jimmy Carter and Rosalind Carter are sitting in the chairs.
Yes.
And Biden is by Rosalind.
People?
Yeah.
It looks like Biden and Jill Biden have a pet couple, and they've ordered these people because they're mega rich from some foreign nation where you can buy little tiny human beings. It still remains to this day my favorite photograph.
Wayfair, you got just what I need.
this tiny bizarro room where they're in, and Jimmy Carter looks like he's handheld. He looks like a Hot Pocket size individual.
Get yourself some pocket presidents.
Look at him, man. Oh, and he's still with us at 100 years old. So congrats to him. Whatever he did, whatever the diet was, I would suggest maybe the goodwill of the Habitat for Humanity things. Or his brother's beer. Something did him well here. What's
terribly. His brother's beer?
Jimmy Carter's brother, they were peanut farmers, and his brother had a beer company when he was president.
Billy Beer.
Billy Beer, yeah. It was called Billy Beer. And he tried to kind of capitalize off the Carter fame by starting his own beer company called Billy Beer. And for a while, people were into it, but then I think it just totally faded away.
Like a nerd. Look at Billy Carter's Wikipedia page.
Hold on.
Look at this guy.
Carter Wiki. The whole Carter family. Tiny little individuals, I guess.
My gosh. Yeah.
Look at this dude.
Want to try my beer?
This is the worst guy to sell beer ever. You need like a Fonz type character to sell beer.
You don't often get a cardigan and button-down collared shirt in the same man, but here we are.
No, this looks like Ken Bone's grandpa. That's what I feel like I'm looking at right here. Oh, the Carter family. Congrats on making it to 100 years old. They said it couldn't be done, and he did it anyhow.
I mean, against all odds, his brother, Billy Beer guy, He died of pancreatic cancer at the age of 51.
Wow.
Their father, James Earl Carter Sr., also died of the disease at 58. His older sister died at 63. None of these Carters made it to 80 or 90, let alone 100.
So you're saying I'm going to live to 100. That's what you're giving. That's the information that you're giving to me right now. I'm going to make it all the way to the finish line.
Well, that got weird.
Yeah, I sure hope so, Sean.
You don't hope so. Let's be real about this. You'd rather it sooner than later.
No, I never said that. I'm just trying to go with the bit of...
You'd rather me be a Billy Carter than a Jimmy Carter, and I just have to deal with that.
I want you to be a Jimmy Carter on strings, and no one can understand what you're saying until you're 101 years old.
That's about the same as things are now. We'll see how things go. I love the man. He's made it to 100, and congrats to him for that. North Carolina, however, suffering today. You guys have continued to see, I'm sure, that both you, Sabrina and Helene, these videos out of North Carolina. And now it brings up an interesting argument. Let's dive into this. Let's get a little spicy with it. Because I see a lot of where's Joe Biden, where's Kamala Harris, even where's Trump, though I think Trump has announced he's heading to North Carolina. And whenever I see this, I think I don't understand how this person's brain works, just to be completely honest with you, okay? If this is you, I'm trying to dive into your psyche here. What do you think a president can do from a place that's been devastated by a storm and is completely ripped to shreds? A place where they're talking about looting taking place, a place where there are no grocery stores open and the cell service is still down and there's no power for most people. When I look at that, I go, I don't know, it seems like it would be more of a problem to have any of these candidates go there right now. But it's a thing that people always desire out of their political opposites. So if you don't see the guy you hate, if you don't see them showing up to the catastrophe like George Bush after Katrina, where's Bush at? He's flying by in his plane. He can't go down and look at the White House is the place where you do the things. The president is a human being. Is he going to be on the ground?
No, Trump can go down there and
he's going to throw stuff at
button hook some toilet paper at him.
See, the reason I get twisted on this is because I've talked about being in Puerto Rico before. I went to San Juan multiple times. I love San Juan. It's a beautiful place. And if you haven't gone, you should go there. Go to the rainforest, El Yunque, I think, and see all of that stuff. But
Spanish for the Yunque.
When I went there was this white woman who was at the bar at this resort I was at. And she's a progressive, leftist white woman, and she's had a couple of martinis. And she's going in on a rant. This was right at the beginning of Trump time. Maybe after the election, not sure. It must have been after the election. When was Hurricane, what was it, Maria that hit Puerto Rico? That was the one that hit Puerto Rico, right?
So last couple of years, right?
When was that?
That was
we were
2017.
Okay, so it was 2018, right around there, when we were in San Juan at this resort, and this white lady who was off to the left politically, she's ranting against Trump at this bar, and she goes, how embarrassing. He came here and he threw the paper towels, and she thought the Puerto Rican man, who was incredibly interesting, who I talked to many times over the course of our time there, she thought that he would just agree with her. Yeah, dumb Trump, but... And he goes, at least he showed up. At least he showed up, and he gave a damn enough to come here, and a lot of people appreciated that. And whether he threw a paper towel thing or not, we appreciated that Trump showed up, and it shut the white lady down. Because she was like, oh, I thought the Puerto Rican guy was going to agree with me. I hate Trump. So they at least appreciated some acknowledgement of a problem going on. But I think when there's catastrophe unfolding, it does kind of a little disservice to the people to show up with the Secret Service and all the things that it requires and all of the resources that it takes up. But I'd love to hear from you. What do you think? Do you expect that Biden should be on the ground, Kamala Harris should be on the ground in North Carolina, where these people are all beat up by this storm? Saw one story on CNN. God almighty. Here it is. It had been 48 hours since winds and rains from Hurricane Helene ripped through western North Carolina, and Sam Perkins had still not heard from his parents. So on Saturday morning, he got in his vehicle and started driving toward their home nestled on a mountain between Spruce Pine and Little Switzerland to find them. He said, my parents live in an absolute gem of the North Carolina mountains. Under normal circumstances, it's pleasantly very isolated. He said, little did I know up there, Helene has demolished roads, homes, utility networks. The area is completely cut off from resources in every direction. So he got out after one of the worst storms in history to hit the area, and he walked 11 miles to check on his parents. 11 miles he walked on foot, over downed trees, through waters, and through murky areas that were devastated by this storm to check in. He said, I tried every route I could, but the roads, no matter where you go, are blocked by landslides or failures of some kind. I made it, found my parents. Luckily, his parents were okay. But this is one tiny story amongst many of what people are dealing with in North Carolina. And I asked you again, would Biden be there make this better? Would it make it better? Would Trump going there make this better? Either side that shows up, does it do anything after a storm? Because I think maybe a plurality of you think that. I think that you're like, oh, we need the president to be there. We need him to show up, show their support. And you always get the weird videos of them walking around some devastated neighborhood talking to a family.
Interesting. Okay.
Like, oh,
hands behind their back.
Is that your house? Yeah, that used to be my house.
Let's get a truck over here and some Windex over there, please.
That sucks that your house is destroyed over there. Yeah, it does. It does indeed suck, Mr. President. Thank you for that. I appreciate. I just think we need the professionals. We need people from all the other states to be able to go there and help them get their power back on. Those are the things we need. But what do you think? Let us know. Clay emails the show, and he says, allegedly some gas station in Georgia was charging $10 a gallon after Hurricane Helene. Oh, the humanity. Just curious what the punishment is for price gouging and how much you would have to mark up one of your beefaroni cans after a disaster to be price gouging. Glad to hear you guys didn't get flooded, says Clay. Thank you, Clay. I don't know what the price gouging laws during states of emergency are in the state of Georgia, but in many other different states, it is definitely a crime to inflate prices of products, water, gasoline, necessities after a storm. I think the penalty should be death, but I'm a little radical on these sorts of things. I just think that exposes the worst type of human being. Somebody who could look at an abject tragedy like a hurricane and everybody after it. We are all people, the three of us, and many of you who have been through these types of storms. And I can remember going to gas stations, staying in a big line of people, power's out everywhere, can't call anybody, waiting to get a gallon of water so I can bring it back to my family so we can have something to drink or we can, use it for whatever we need. I remember these things and going to gas stations who didn't jack up the prices. And I thought that was the good American thing to do. So I'll stick with that for now. Let's try this out. Let's go over to TX to start things off here on a Monday. You can join us too. Send a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com.
Yo, News Junkies.
Hey!
Share Show Tuesday. I'll make sure I share it. But one thing I can definitely say is, within the past, just this election, the Democrats have had a lazy president. Like, you don't have to show up to nothing. You can just write a letter. Like, it's 2025 almost, man. They need to be boots on the ground. They should be everywhere. There's 24 hours in a day. You don't have a problem traveling. They should be everywhere, man. But, of course, you're going to let them be lazy Democrats and busy Republicans. But I'm not a party anyway, but have a good one. Wee-wee.
All right. Biden's been on the beach pretty much constantly or relaxing at his vacation home. But who cares about Biden right now? Biden, I can tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, will be no help to anybody in North Carolina. He ain't going to fix it. He ain't the guy. He can sign some stuff at the White House maybe if they push him around in the right direction. But the candidates being there, the candidates are distracted by being a month away from the biggest election of their lives. And the candidates are distracted by a vice presidential debate tonight. And also, and I said it yesterday, I'll say it again, politicians don't seem to care about that portion of the southeastern United States. When stuff happens in Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, all the people there just get looked over. They don't seem to care about these folks. It does seem to happen that way. But I think you could show that care from other places. You don't have to be necessarily at the White House. Some of you disagree. Here's TD.
I don't care that the president, sitting president, vice president can do a thing in a catastrophe site, but get their ass there and show face. Stand with the people that you're supposed to be representing. It might just be a play to literally just be there, but freaking just be there. This not showing up BS is not going to work, and it's a bad look for anyone who's trying to be the president of the United States. Show up, stand with the people, and show face.
I posit this to you and others, TD. Could you show face from somewhere else? Like if the candidates were getting in front of microphones and going, hey, what's happening in North Carolina is unbelievable, catastrophic. We need to do everything we can. And they were just constantly hammering the message home, getting them as much help as they possibly could. I think you could help, but you don't always have to be there to be helping. Just like you can help or I can help or anybody else can help.
Say you did some sort of photo op, and depending on how much you do once the cameras are done clicking, say you did some sort of photo op where you're like, okay, I realize that right now it is not good for me to take Marine One and land in Asheville. You know, the infrastructure wise, it's going to be more of a burden on some of the people there, possibly, than it would be a help. But the photo op could be, hey, you're at a facility loading up trucks, loading up boats, loading up planes to drop the necessary provisions to help these people out.
I think that's just as good. I think that, to me, that's just as good as being there if you're doing something positive and highlighting it. What were you saying?
They find a place to land and they do their photo op and speech, and then it's like, bye, everybody. You are still stranded here until we can rebuild the bridges. Like you said, not going to help. But
it doesn't do anything. And everybody seems to want that show of face, but what C-Lane's saying, that seems like showing face to me. That seems like you're doing the things and you're not inconveniencing everybody. What do you think? Let us know. I like this comment from Avendasora, who said on Twitch, after Katrina in New Orleans, I did not care when Bush showed up, but I was stupid excited to see Anderson Cooper, LOL. Yeah, the celebrity anchors start walking around. What do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. Conspiracies galore after Hurricane Helene. We're going to talk to the director of that movie Off Ramp that I talked about yesterday at some point during the show today, probably in our final hour. And an update on the very popular television show on Netflix, I believe, the Menendez Brothers show. Something one of the stars is demanding right now. What is it and why that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Make your smart speaker smarter. Hey, Google, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
There's some residual delays due to an earlier accident, cleared up now at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike and the Beach Line meet. Traffic is slowing down on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535 there, and authorities are clearing up an accident on Maitland Boulevard westbound between Maitland Avenue and I-4. Travel with caution through that area. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Norton 360.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Boost your password security with Norton 360. Weak passwords can be targets. That's why Password Manager is included in Norton 360 to help keep you safe. Get comprehensive protection and up to 58% off at norton.com/secure.
We've all made questionable decisions in life, like that time that you frosted the tips of your hair. But hiring an attorney shouldn't be. I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all injury cases. If you are not completely satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com.
New South Window lives southern weather, and our products are designed to keep the intense heat out and the cool air in. We prioritize keeping your family and your home comfortable all year round. That's why our energy-efficient windows and doors are made, installed, and guaranteed for life.
For a limited time only, save 35% off on New South Windows and Doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com/radio to learn more.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. As the leader in identity theft protection, LifeLock reminds you to update your passwords. Using the same password across multiple accounts makes you vulnerable to cyber criminals. Updating your passwords is only one way to help protect yourself. For comprehensive identity theft protection, you need LifeLock. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes issues that arise. Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Oh, what a goal! Alpha Santos with a certified banger!
Orlando City's back at home at Internco Stadium for a midweek matchup as your Lions take on Philadelphia on Wednesday, October 2nd at 7:30 p.m., presented by Acceptance Insurance. Tune in on FM 96.9 The Game and watch on any device on the Apple TV app. Don't forget to tune in an hour before the match at 6:30 to catch Kickoff Minus 60, airing exclusively on the Lion Nation app. Are you paying too much for your car insurance? Visit acceptanceinsurance.com. One visit to Acceptance could save you up to 30% on your car insurance, and they have offices in your neighborhood. Visit acceptanceinsurance.com and see how much you could save. Restrictions apply based on a Q1 study of Acceptance Insurance customers who reported saving when they switch. License number L012994.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind. When people ask me what I do for a living, I don't even blink. I'm an accident attorney. For those who've never been in an accident, that carries a negative connotation. For those who have, they understand. They need an attorney to fight a billion-dollar insurance company, to make sure their bills are paid and that their future is protected. I'm very proud of what I do, and I take it very serious. If that works for you, contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333. Offices, Orlando.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles. Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and search the Beatles Now and Then and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio. GMC Sierra trucks in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, deposit. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
High diving face first into the world's most viral newsroom.
Appreciate you, and you look beautiful today, by the way. If you miss any of the show, go to thenewsjunkie.com and subscribe to the podcast right now. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Emails rolling in today, and this one is from Hills. It says, Hola, News Junkie. I'm a longtime podcast listener who just got back from Guadalajara, Mexico,
Arriba,
where I left a News Junkie ant farm magnet at Parque San Rafael for someone else to find and steal. Well, thank you, Hills. That's very cool. Keeping a game of magnets going. I love that. This morning, I ordered the Is It Over Yet in Rad Red. Can't wait to wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop in my long sleeve whenever it gets to be fall weather here in town. Much love to y'all. Keep it going, Hills. Thank you, Hills. Everybody else, make a move. Support the show. Get the latest merch drop. It's ready for you. It's called Is It Over Yet? And your name could be featured on the show. We're going to pick one of the names that will be on the shirt, rather, today during the show. We'll pick one of the names that will be featured on the show. There'll be 10 total that will be on the design. Go check it out and get yours while you can at thenewsjunkie.com. Mark, real quick, sends in an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Sean, don't know if you covered this, but a dog survived after being hit by a car and stuck in the grill for 12 hours.
Oh, what?
So hang on. Let me bring up the story that he links
Poor
here.
puppy.
That is not a good time, and I feel bad for this pup. Yeah, dog survives after being hit by a car and stuck in the grill for 12 hours.
Take a close look at this video of a
there he
little dog
is.
hit by a car.
Oh, no. Look at this little guy. He's right here. He's actually in the grill of the car and stuck in there in this Toyota.
How did he manage?
I don't know. Let's see what they said.
Unfortunately, Lucy, and discovered 12 hours later when the car owner finally realized the dog was stuck in the grill of the car right above the bumper.
Our Caleb Califano spoke to the dog's owner tonight, who is happy to have his pup back home.
Of course. My God.
They're calling it a miracle. A dog gets run over, then gets stuck in the grill of a woman's car for 12 hours just to get rescued without a single scratch. This good boy is Barbas, and while he's happy now, his owner Ignacio is relieved that he's still alive.
I got 4 dogs, and I said, no, I don't want to lose any.
This video shows why. Crews at an auto shop pulling Barbas from the front of a car.
Little Barbas. He's so scared. He's stuck inside the grill of this vehicle.
He's like, I've never gone faster in my life. Imagine that point of view.
His eyeballs are pointing straight down the road as the car is just hauling ass and moving around. Wow. Yeah, poor thing. He's okay, though. So that's good news. Thank you, Mark.
Why are there not more questions for this woman who didn't know she hit a dog, or if she did know she hit a dog, kept driving and let the dog stay in there for half a day?
I'm not saying I'm going to defend this lady, but I am going to say the dog was kind of small. So might have felt like a little bumperoonie. And then you go, oh, I don't know, was that something? What did I hit there?
Speaking of dogs, did you see? And I kind of have mixed feelings on this because it's a really good feel-good story, but there's a bad side to it.
Okay. What?
Did you see the dog this morning that was on the news? Looked a lot like Lady that just was the recipient of canine open heart surgery.
No, I didn't even know they could do that.
Yeah, that's a thing now. Canine open heart surgery, which means
rich dog owners.
Yeah, rich dog owners, or there are people who will straight up go into bankruptcy to save their dog.
Yeah,
and make very unsound financial decisions. And now one of the ones that is an option for them is canine open heart surgery.
Did they say what the dollar signs were like on that?
Oh, let's see.
I mean, it has to be a lot.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Yeah. I would guess maybe if you said 10,000, I would not be surprised. Maybe more, maybe into the tens of thousands. It's probably super rare that they do that kind of thing. Was it a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel like my dog Lady?
Yeah,
or?
it looked like it was.
I'd pay all the money in the world. I'd
that's the problem.
What was the sad part?
CSU is just one of a few clinics in the world where vets perform open heart surgery on dogs, a procedure that typically costs $12,000 to $16,000.
Damn. And what was the sad part?
It's not the sad part.
Like
I'm just saying the negative part is that now that's an option, and that now they're parting you with your $12,000 to $16,000.
Did the dog live though?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Okay, all right. I thought you were going to say the sad part was the dog didn't.
No. The dog was, they were walking around, cheery on the news, looked like Lady, Cavalier King Charles. But I just thought, I was like, oh gosh, it's fascinating that they're doing this for dogs, but it's also almost troublesome that now an option is spending $16,000 on an open heart surgery for your pet.
Damn it, man! They get you. They get you. I remember when. Lady gobbled up a pill one time, way back in the day.
Just found a pill, ate it?
Yeah, there's a cabinet.
Did you drop one of your allergy pills?
No. This was another kind of pill. And
what kind of pill was it?
It's not my business to say because it wasn't my pill. But tiny little pill falls on the ground, and we think Lady gobbled up. We didn't even know if she did. We just knew it hit the ground for a second. We couldn't find it, and then we freaked out, and the lady's like hyperventilating and stuff. and we go to the vet, and the vet comes in and goes, we're going to put her on IV, and we're going to do this, and she's going to be absolutely fine. You know, it's going to cost X amount of dollars. And I think I may have even said, I don't care, which is just dumb. But in that moment, I'm going, what? If you came in and said it would take emergency heart surgery, do it. Please do it.
I'm done.
Yeah, I would hate to make dumb financial moves, but guess what? I still want my dog to be alive. And, you know, unfortunately for my bank account. We're going to get to you and your dispatches in a moment. Have either of you seen even a second? Oh, no, I know Helene has seen some of the Menendez brothers show, right? Didn't you say you saw a little bit or no?
Yeah. We've had a couple other shows and movies to distract us. We watched the Blake Lively movie, the domestic violence one, and
good time.
Oh no, not a good time. No,
that's my problem with movies like that. When I see a movie like that, I go, maybe this is good, but it just seems kind of miserable.
It was very. I mean, from the second she meets the guy, you're like, I know he's eventually going to start beating her. And so I just the whole movie, I'm uncomfortable. It's just, you know, I get that these are very real situations, and I don't want to take away from that.
You could even say important, like there's a value to it.
But I don't care to watch movies like that.
No, it's too much of a downer.
Don't at all. And it, you know, we watched it. It was what it was, and I was like, all right, never want to see that again.
It's like a dead dog movie. I don't want to watch a dead dog movie.
Thank you.
I don't want to watch one of these movies where I know something just really, really sad is going to happen.
If the dog is on the cover of the movie in the promotional poster, you can consider me not watching that.
Oh, is that usually a sign? Is that like a Madden curse for the dog?
For me, that's when I make my decision. If it's a dog featured in the trailer, not watching it. Sorry.
That's true. It does happen. So Monsters, have you seen a second of it, Sabrina?
I've seen a second of it. Started last night, but this is going to be crazy and a surprise.
Fell asleep. Ryan Murphy's series with Ian Brennan, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. In this, we talked about how the famed actor Nathan Lane is in this. And Nathan Lane is a really good actor. I super liked him, and I know this is probably sacrilege with his category or with his catalog of movies. I super liked him in Modern Family. I thought his character, Pepper Saltzman, in Modern Family was super funny and really, really interesting. And that's where I mostly know Nathan Lane from. But he plays a great character, Dominic Dunn, a journalist, in this series, Monsters, about the Menendez brothers. And I really like the character he plays because it's a foil to the Menendez brothers, and he's the skeptic who's going, they're lying about all of this stuff. Speaking out about this when maybe it wasn't as popular to do so.
Is he representing a real person, like a real journalist that was reporting on the Menendez case?
Yes, yeah. And a journalist that got involved because his own daughter was killed, and the person that killed her got off easy because that person had the same representative that the Menendez brothers had. And so he took an interest in this court case and dove deep. And he does a fantastic job in the series. But now he's saying that the Menendez brothers deserve a retrial. And I'm seeing more and more of these people that are like, yeah, maybe let's rethink.
Has he been saying that, or after watching the show? Because he does know that there's been some stuff added to it to make it a good series to watch.
He says, I'm not on social media, so I don't know what people are saying about this. This is interesting. He says it's a dramatization, not a documentary.
There we go.
Not everybody's going to agree with every single point of view, but that's what makes horse races. I think they certainly cover the fact that they were abused. Obviously, they do. Very much so. And just because Dominic Dunn said at dinner parties, maybe this is what happened, we shouldn't all lose our heads. That's just somebody theorizing the case. He says, the ultimate question is, was it the two boys who committed this horrific act, or was it the parents? I personally feel, yes, they were abused. I don't know to what extent. Only Eric and Lyle know the truth. And he said, I think they deserve a retrial, and all the attention may work in their favor. So if somebody watched that series and they are now in agreement with this, I'd love to hear why. I'd love to hear your point of view today. If you think the Menendez brothers do deserve another shake at this, it's very interesting how the human mind works when it comes to justice. Here's what I mean by this. If I tell you that, I'm not going to use any of our names in this. I'll say Cletus, all right? Cletus, guy named Cletus. If I tell you Cletus killed a man, and murder is illegal in the United States of America, And you are not to take the law into your own hands. And Cletus is a murderer. And so Cletus should go to jail and face the death penalty for murdering somebody. People might start to line up and say, this Cletus guy seems like a real bad character. Cletus should go to jail. Cletus murdered people, and you're not allowed to do that. But if I told you Cletus walked in on somebody sexually assaulting his 3-year-old daughter, and then he attacked that person and killed them to defend his child, now you're going to look at it completely differently.
We had a case like that we talked about many years ago where did the guy murder?
He just beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And the jury felt for him, and he was not guilty.
I don't even think he got arrested. I think the cops...
No, there was a trial. Oh, you're talking about like to lead up to the trial.
No, I was talking about the father in Daytona that came in and saw some like 18-year-old kid sexually abusing his child and rearranged the dude's face.
Yes, he beat the hell out of that kid. I don't remember if there were charges or not. There was at least a discussion of charges. I do, in fact, remember that. And there always is. But this is why I say to you, challenge what you think you believe. People will say that they're against murder, but you're probably not. You're probably not just across the board against murder. You're probably, in some instances, the person will go, well, you had it coming. It's okay to murder that person. And that's where I'm at. I'll be truthful with you. If I walked in on somebody hurting my son, I would absolutely, with crowbars or guns or anything else provided, kill that person and not miss a wink of sleep. Murder is only not okay when we think about the circumstances that are around it. So when you think about the Menendez brothers, if you believe that they were the victims of perpetual abuse from their parents, then you'll justify the fact that they killed them in cold blood. And maybe you feel that way. Again, send a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. We have to get to the dock worker strike. It's happening in New York and New Jersey, and it could affect your pocketbook, if anybody carries those anymore, your bank account, your grocery prices. It could have an impact on your finances. What's going on? That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s.
Forecast. Today will top out at 92 degrees. Temperatures about 4 degrees warmer than normal. That'll lead to a likelihood of thunderstorms this afternoon. Between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m., there's a 60 to 80% chance for rain. We're going to see numerous downpours, lightning, wind gusts to 40 miles per hour. Now, for the balance of the work week, our rain chances will be a little lower at just 40%. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. From iced lattes to smoothies to a late-night milkshake. Get any handcrafted 16 or 24-ounce beverage for just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, over 3 million people called Morgan & Morgan in their time of need. And with over 1 million of those calls coming from previous clients, friends, and family.
My name is Jason Williams. It was a rainy day, and I got hit from behind by a lady that was doing somewhere over 100 miles an hour is what they were saying. I've never dealt with anything like this before. Everybody that I talked to kept saying the same name, which was Morgan & Morgan. I was on hold for maybe 15 seconds when they come back and said, Jason, we will absolutely take your case. As a non-tech savvy guy, any question that I had, if I called, text, or emailed, they got right back to me. They made it as easy for me as it could have been.
Thank you for trusting us. We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. The word is out. Size matters. Reputation matters. We're America's largest injury law firm for a reason. With over 900 dedicated attorneys and climbing, we're ready wherever you are, whatever you need. The choice is easy. We're just a phone call away. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This season on the new podcast, Rip Current, the story of the only two women who tried to assassinate an American president.
A woman fired a shot at President Ford in San Francisco this afternoon.
One was a protege of Charles Manson.
26-year-old Lynette Fromm, nicknamed Squeaky.
The other, a middle-aged housewife undercover for the FBI.
Identified by police as Sarah Jean Moore.
Listen to Rip Current on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Rip Current and start listening.
Wawa makes the right handcrafted beverages for the right time. And now, handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. Jump out of bed for an iced latte. Take a lunch break for a smoothie. Or celebrate with a late-night milkshake. Wawa makes the right beverages for the right time. Now at an even better price. Get smoothies, lattes, or any handcrafted 16-ounce or 24-ounce beverage for just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
Honey, I'm going to Wawa for dinner.
Okay, but Ben wants pizza.
Yup.
And Nick wants a burger and fries.
Right.
Oh, and the twins, they won't touch anything except for mac and cheese.
Exactly. Wawa has something for everyone for dinner, so I only have to make one stop to make everyone happy. So, what do you want?
Well, if you're going to Wawa, I have to have a hoagie.
From burgers to hoagies and everything in between, Wawa has dinner for everyone.
At Batteries Plus, you'll find trusted, dependable, fully charged batteries for your car or truck. Plus free battery testing and expert installation, too. Life's waiting. You have places to be. Power on with Batteries Plus. Over 700 locations nationwide.
Sponsored by Tijuana Flats, your home for National Taco Week now through Sunday.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
On the bright side, we're not dead yet. You're listening to the new
.com and gobble up the latest merch drop. It's waiting for you. It's called Is It Over Yet? And YouTube. It is on you today. We're going to focus on you. Everybody on YouTube, take just a moment, support the show. If you like watching every day, if you like this whole damn production, it's the least you can do to pay back a little bit and support the show and to share the show Tuesday or whatever day it might be that you listen to the show. So go over to thenewsjunkie.com, look at the Is It Over Yet design, snag that, join Game of Magnets with the magnet that comes along with it and the sticker, and we appreciate you doing so, YouTube. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Get into these emails in just a moment here. And also the dock worker strike and how this could impact you. It absolutely could and will, in fact. But some unfortunate news. Only some of you are going to know about this. But for those who do, who are into the world of reality television, one of the dudes from American Pickers has died.
Oh, no.
Frank Fritz is the dude. He was only 60 years old, but he had a stroke back in 2022.
What was American Pickers again?
American Pickers was this show. It had Frank Fritz and Mike Wolf. They had a falling out at some point, and it got dramatic between them. They would show up to a person's house, and the house would usually be one of these places where there's crap all over the place, just old stuff everywhere.
Like a hoarder house.
Like a hoarder house, kind of, but they would look for old things, old bicycles, old motorcycles, old design things, whatever it was, old stuff. And then they would make offers to the people for the stuff and bring it back to their place to sell it to rich people. And that was the essential basis of American Pickers. Frank Fritz, for those of you who watched, R.I.P. to him. For those of you who didn't, which is most of you, you're like, who is this person?
Oh, he's heaven picking.
No clue who he is. To the dock worker strike in a moment. But first, Brandon emails, tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Sean, I was just wondering if you heard anything about the man that died on the American Airlines flight from Dallas-Fort Worth to Fort Myers, Florida. My sister-in-law was on the plane and said the man went to the bathroom as soon as the plane reached cruising altitude, and then he came out and collapsed in the aisle of the plane. The plane was diverted to Galveston, and the passengers eventually got home to Florida 36 hours later. Thanks, Brandon.
Oh, God. That means someone had to sit next to the dead guy.
Yes, they had to have the dead guy on a flight for a long time. Hours they would have to have this guy on there. American Airlines, Helene, from Dallas-Fort Worth to Fort Myers. See if you can find anything about that so we can update Brandon, because I hadn't seen that story with everything else going on. Paul emails, hey, News Junkie. Listening to the story about the dog and the grill of the vehicle and open heart surgery on animals, and I wanted to share something. When my wife and I moved into our current house, we noticed the stairs going upstairs were a bit steep. Day 2 in the house, our 15-year-old dog fell down them and broke his leg. We took him to the emergency vet. We were told he needed surgery to fix it, which would cost upwards of $10,000. We're the type of people who rarely spend money on ourselves, and we're not wealthy by any definition of the word. We're not necessarily poor, but not wealthy. When we found out how much the surgery would cost, we didn't hesitate for a second and told the vet to fix our boy. I know a lot of people have just a dog as a view, but for us, it wasn't even a thought. He passed away from an unrelated health issue about a year after that, and we're still paying off the surgery costs, but we wouldn't have changed a thing. Anyway, just wanted to share that. I work in St. Paul, Minnesota. Missing seeing the News Junkie Magnets after moving there from Florida. My poor magnet's kind of lonely. Love listening to you guys. Take care and smoke weed every day. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop. Cheers, Paul. Thank you, Paul, for the email.
I got nothing on this diverted flight.
No? Oh, that's weird. Maybe it's off the radar for now. It probably would pop up. Somebody dying on a flight.
Yeah, how often does that happen, though?
There's so many flights that it's bound to happen, I would guess, multiple times per year, but certainly I've never been on a flight where there's even been a medical emergency.
He said Galveston, right? It was diverted to Galveston?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I said Galveston, Texas. It was from Dallas-Fort Worth.
You heard it here first.
Headed to Fort Myers is where the flight was going to. Over to the dock workers, how this could impact you. Groceries about to get more expensive if this dock worker strike goes on. New York and New Jersey, the dock workers are saying enough is enough. We want to get paid. Generally speaking, I support people over corporations. I want people to get as much money out of nameless, faceless corporations as they possibly can. if you are an employer that works hard and puts in the time and puts in a lot of effort and doesn't just do the bare minimum, then you should try to get what you can out of the people who are paying you. If you bring value to people, they will, usually you can push them to pay you back in a fair way. Always look at the world that way. I tell Dylan this kind of stuff, like, look at the world. Where can you add value? How can you bring value to somebody else so that they'll be willing to pay you a decent paycheck? And then fight for that. If you're do the bare minimum employee and you're whining about things, you miss me with that. It's just not the way the world works. You have to be working and putting enough in to get more out. But these dock workers, without looking, hands off keyboards, hands in the air, what do you think the average dock worker in New York or New Jersey makes?
Oof. Dock worker.
We know what a dock worker is. Yeah, it's a union job. We know what a dock worker is, right? Like the ships come in,
yeah.
They unload the ships, they're
typically
working on the dock.
Full-time, I imagine.
Typically a full-time position, yes.
$30 an hour.
$30 an hour. Give me a yearly number
salary.
On that.
I'm going to go
yearly salary.
$80,000 a year.
$80,000 a year. What do you think, Sela?
Let's see. Based on about $60,000 a year.
The average dock worker in New York or New Jersey in the union makes closer to $150,000 a year. They tend to start out around $88,000 when
Must
you're
be a bitch
new
of a
employee.
job.
And you get up to $200,000 these people make in their job. They're currently asking for a 77% wage increase over the next 6 years. And while I say fight for it, I'm going to say if you're making $150,000 unloading ships, which granted is tough back-breaking work, you're fairly compensated. I think you're fairly compensated at $150K for that gig. 77% more was the wage increase that the union was looking for. They granted them a 50% wage increase. And the people also wanted a ban on automation. So pay us 77% more and no robots. We don't want any robots in here taking these dock worker jobs. They refused the 50% raise and some limited restrictions on automation. This could lead to more grocery store markups for you, depending on how long this lasts. What do you think? Do they deserve more? Is it a hard job and they should get more money? What are your thoughts? Tell us. Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. When we come back, we'll get into a disaster on an amusement park ride of all things. And a 5-year-old is involved. What went down? All the details. These are crazy. Coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
Watch out for an accident on Colonial Drive eastbound at Goldenrod Road on I-4 this afternoon. Traffic is slowing down between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535 around the perimeter of I-4. Traffic is up to speed on State Road 429 in the Greenway. There's intersection backups where Vine Street meets John Young Parkway. No major problems on I-95. But if you do see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Hemmings.
Hey, it's Mike Musto from Hemmings, the world's largest collector car marketplace. Join us October 12th at Orlando Speed World for the one and only Musclepalooza. Top speed drag racing with payouts, professionally judged car shows with awards, plus kids 12 and under get in free. Tickets on sale at Hemmings.com/Musclepalooza.
Folks, we live in Central Florida. Most of you do, at least, and it's hot out there. Even the other day, we're into fall now, or so they say. And it was 96 degrees on the dash temp. It was hot outside. So when you get home and you work hard at the docks all day or otherwise, you deserve to be nice and cool and comfortable in your house. When that AC is not working, you can tell immediately. And that's when you call Mills Air. Why? Because they're the great company that's going to help you out here. They're the locally owned and operated company. They're the family-owned and operated company. They're the honest company that's been helping people since 1992 keep their ACs up and running at their households. Their techs are the best of the best. They hire very good people. and you won't mind having them in your house. They'll also be very, very skilled. So whatever kind of AC you have, they know it up, down, top to bottom. And they're a Carrier factory authorized dealer. They can get you big rebates toward a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Give them a call at 407-277-1159 or find them online at millsair.com.
Florida's law enforcement officers know how to keep us safe, but Tallahassee politicians think they know better. That's why they're lying about Amendment 3. The truth? Amendment 3 will protect Floridians from marijuana laced with deadly drugs like fentanyl and provide billions in funding for police. Here's Gadsden County Sheriff Morris Young on Amendment 3.
I'm Sheriff Morris Young. Illicit marijuana laced with illegal drugs like fentanyl have destroyed lives. I know because I've seen it firsthand. Amendment 3 will save lives by making marijuana safe, regulated, and lab tested. Amendment 3 will protect our community from dangerous illegal drugs while allowing law enforcement to focus on serious crimes. Vote yes on Amendment 3, the smarter and safer choice for Florida.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite number 3, 321 Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today by calling 844-GET-MY-AD. That's 844-GET-MY-AD.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, dollar, DOLLAR. That's dollar. Enter it now at realradio.fm. Good luck.
On the bright side, we're not dead yet. You're listening to
Dispatch. Tell us that you just got the latest merch drop, which is available at thenewsjunkie.com. TikTok on that one. Make your way over, support the show by grabbing the latest shirt, available in short sleeve and long sleeve. It's called Is It Over Yet? The black short sleeve is the runaway winner. And the black long sleeve, I think, is coming in after that. So the red, you guys are stiff-arming right now. But maybe you like it. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and get yours right now. Question for the two of you, Sabrina and Helene.
Hit me.
Just give me a guess here. We now have, the ability to look back on Hurricane Helene. We saw that it rolled through the South in the United States of America, and that it hit Florida and the Panhandle, hit Georgia, hit South Carolina, hit North Carolina, hit Tennessee pretty hard. And North Carolina probably hardest hit in western North Carolina. Somebody did the numbers, ran the numbers on this, and a scientist at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's National Water Center in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, figured out how much, in terms of gallons of rain, was dropped by Hurricane Helene. How many gallons of rain do you think were dropped by Hurricane Helene, Sabrina? Full guessing territory, obviously.
Very much so. 2.8 million gallons.
2.8 million gallons.
I don't know if that's it is a lot, obviously, but I'm trying to think of how many jugs of milk were dropped from the sky.
Well, keep in mind that this went over a couple of days and it went over a bunch of places, but 2.8 million
Okay, so I will go with 15 million gallons.
15 million. All right. You're heading in the right direction, but...
Still so far away.
You're a little ways away. Celine, what do you think?
2 billion gallons of rain.
How about this? 40 trillion gallons of rain. When you
How do you
think
even
about
count that?
But these science guys count it.
Insane.
What perspective
What
does
part
that
of the earth
give
is
you?
missing water right now?
40 trillion gallons of rain, which has stunned experts. This is enough to fill the Dallas Cowboys Stadium 51,000 times. It is as much water as there will be found in Lake Tahoe. That's the amount of water. Lake Tahoe
wild.
just dropped over the South right now. Most of it was concentrated on the Carolinas and Georgia. And if it was just in North Carolina, it would have been 3.5 feet deep over the whole state. That's enough to fill 60 million Olympic-sized swimming pools. How about that? 40 trillion gallons. When you think about holding 1 gallon of milk, you imagine that was rainwater. You repeat that into the trillions and trillions and trillions. That's how much water was dumped on the South. That is unbelievable.
I'm trying to see how many gallons exist, period.
Oh, in the whole world?
Yeah.
Man, the ocean has so much water that...
Well, it says Earth is estimated to hold about 1.3, that's a billion cubic kilometers of water.
Damn, cubic kilometers. That's a huge measure, too. That's a cubic kilometer of water is enormous, and we have that many of them. So if you take a cubic kilometer and turn that into gallons, where do you end up?
It's one of those numbers that ends in E+2, and I never remember
because it's too big?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's just stunning to consider. Meanwhile, over at the theme parks, Disney staff, strangers being thanked for saving the life of a young boy, a 5-year-old boy, 5 years old. He gets on what I do consider to be the greatest ride in the world, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy. It is a phenomenal ride. If you've never been on it, feels like you're dancing. It's beautiful. It's impossible not to smile. I've been mad and got on the ride, and then I'm smiling. It's unbelievable. It's the greatest therapy ever.
Noted.
When you go on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, there's one little surprise each time. You get to a part, and they go, you can't kill music or can't kill rock and roll. And they shoot you backwards, and a song plays. And there's a selection of songs. I think there's like 6 of them that play. And it's just the best. But this 5-year-old was not having a good time.
But wasn't it recently only Earth, Wind, and Fire on the 21st of September?
Yeah. For that date, they did just Earth, Wind, and Fire September, and it was sold out. You couldn't even get on the ride that day. All the lightning lanes, all of that stuff, all completely sold out because all the fans of that ride. It's beautiful, man. It's one of those things where when you go on it for the first time, you go, that is cool. That was a good time. But a Florida family wasn't having a good time. They are expressing gratitude to strangers and Walt Disney World staff who helped save their 5-year-old son after he collapsed on a roller coaster. Christine and Ernesto Tegel's son, Ernesto III, passed out shortly after the family boarded the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Christine, who was sitting behind him, realized something was wrong when she couldn't feel a pulse. I was screaming, hitting him, and saying that something was wrong.
In line or on the ride?
On the ride. And I think it was right before they launched. Ernesto was diagnosed with a rare heart condition which can cause his heart to go into arrhythmia during periods of extreme excitement or activity. This, friends, is why they ask you when you're about to go on a ride if you have any heart conditions, because the act of you simply being excited could trigger an arrhythmia in you and nearly kill you, like it did this 5-year-old. Death by excitement. They didn't know about his condition, though, until this trip. After the ride ended, so they did go off on the ride.
So the kids, the kid passed out.
The kid's passed out, flopping around like a rag doll on this ride.
He's gone 5 years without having any bout of excitement until now.
I guess not. They did not notice that this was a thing. He'd never been as excited in his life, and he doesn't remember the ride, obviously, which is really unfortunate. I'm sure they won't let him get back on this again. So he goes around on the ride, Guardians of the Galaxy. After the ride ended, Mom goes into hero mode and starts performing CPR on her son. A passing couple who happened to be a nurse and an EMT, they jumped in to help out here. And then a Disney employee brought over what's called an AED. An AED.
A defibrillator.
That was used to restart the boy's heart before he was rushed to the hospital. They saved his life on that ride, and it is just a pretty amazing story of everybody working together to help out a young kid like this.
I can't believe the ride went on.
I know, it did. That's like, I told you I went on Tron that one time, and I was so scared about to go on Tron. Tron scared the hell out of me for some reason in the line. My heart's beating fast. And the ride takes off, and I just hear some kid scream bloody murder, and he just keeps screaming, and I go, oh, no, they're not going to stop the ride for him or anything. He's having like a breakdown on this ride, and you still have to go for the duration of the ride until you get to the end. The equivalent of skydiving and having a panic attack.
I wonder if like the new kid would have hit the e-stop button, and then like we reached for it, and the guy that's been working there for 8 years is like, dude, if you hit this button for every time some kid freaks out that loud, we'll never get people through this line. We gotta go. We gotta go. He needs to be out cold before we start doing something.
Yeah, poor kid.
I have the number in gallons.
Oh, do you? What is it?
I have the number in gallons.
In the whole world?
Of estimated water on Earth.
Man. What's the number even? Is there a number for that? Quadrillion? Quintillion?
It's in the quintillions.
Whoa.
366 quintillion. 142 quadrillion, 464 trillion, 570 billion gallons of water.
That is a lot of water.
I have to pee.
That is an exorbitant amount of water, friends.
If you had that many pennies, you'd have over $3 quintillion.
Wow. I don't even know how to picture a quintillion. I don't even know what to use for that. Like, frame of mind is hard when it's that big of a number.
We need to have one of those like picture generators. You ever see when people do that where they're like they'll do it in stacks of hundreds, and they're like, here's what $1 million looks like next to here's what $1 billion looks like.
That's where we came up with the African elephants thing, because someone it was an asteroid that was headed to Earth or something, and they had the graphic with it. Can ChatGPT make it?
Yeah, we need something more relatable to compare it to. That is an easier way, I think, to comprehend just how much this is. Over to your dispatches, a video dispatch coming in from Craig K. And he's talking about that Menendez trial. And I think he wants a retrial. Let's see what he says.
Hey, Sean, C-Lane, and Sabrina. Craig from Denver here. Just want to say, with regards to the Menendez brothers, I do believe they do deserve a retrial. And my rationale for that is because of the fact that they were physically abused. In reality, while the Netflix series, pretty much dramatizes as far as what they went through, a little bit more.
A little bit more what?
Or a little bit more than what's there.
Oh, no.
It's that
I'm having
Denver connection, man.
Hang on. It's downloading now. I do love the video dispatch, so we get to see your
It seems
beautiful
more
face.
personal. Like, I feel like I
He's
know
staring at me,
him better. I've already forgotten his name, but I feel like I know him better.
Denver guy.
Craig K? Did I get a... Hold on, let me check. Craig K? Cool. Nailed it on that one. He thinks they deserve a new trial. Here he is.
Physical abuse is physical abuse, man. That typically will shape someone's future to a point where they may want to try to break free from it. And the way that the Menendez brothers broke free from it was by killing their parents.
There was a thing at the time, and they explained this in the docuseries about the Menendez brothers on Netflix, where it wasn't playing people say playing the race card. There was a form of that where it was like abuse. So they were
playing the abuse card?
Kind of, but there was a different phrasing for that. Somebody will remember who saw this. the abuse something. And it was sort of a canard at the time. It was a thing that people would do as a tactic to go, oh, I did this because, and your defense would be that you were abused. And
it's like a long haul self-defense.
It's an excuse that justifies otherwise horrific behavior. That's the way they saw it. Let's let him finish up here.
While there are people who did die in that, their parents, that is, I do believe that.
Oh, man, this is killing me right now.
But it stops at the middle of the sentence, and I want to know what he believes.
I'm going to let it load all the way. I'm connected real
What if he said
slow.
9/11 is an inside job?
At the end, it's just like, and by the way, and just drops some
like they need a retrial, and jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
A retrial is in order, and I believe that they should be set free.
Okay, all right. He believes they should be set free, and a retrial is in order. It comes down to if you believe him or not. And I heard somebody say, hey, what was said on that stand by Lyle Menendez, you can't act that way. You can't act that out. That has to be real. The descriptions of abuse by his father. What is he, the greatest actor of all time? And I will point you to the 911 call that the Menendez brothers placed after they returned home to the house where they killed their parents. They thought somebody else would have reported the gunshots. They were surprised that the police were not on scene. And so they go, all right, I guess we just got to call 911. And if you listen to the 911 call, you know that they killed their parents because that's not in dispute. It's 100% that they killed their parents. Absolutely, they did it. It's just whether you think they're justified or not. And that was acting on that 911 call. It was good.
So the retrial would be to get them a different punishment? Question mark?
Maybe. To get them a lesser punishment. I don't agree with that.
How long have they been in jail now? That happened in what, 89?
That happened, in the late 80s, and the trial was in the early 90s. And I think it was right around the same time as the O.J. Simpson trial.
They were charged with the murder of their parents in December 1992.
92? Okay.
32 years-ish.
Yeah, that's a while ago. It's a while that has passed since the sentencing and all that. And when they were tried, the first go-round, they were both tried side by side, and it was a hung jury. And so they retried it, and the new prosecutor used a different tactic, which was much more successful, obviously.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought they were tried separately, and they both got hung, and then they tried them together.
You might be right. But there were two different trials. They got a hung jury on the first one, and then the second one, they were not successful. There was a lot of stuff that they didn't allow them to put into evidence. What do you think? Let us know. Send us a video dispatch just like that. And by the way, much appreciated to you, Craig. I'm going to give you a star over on the dispatch side of things. And I'll even set you up with a month of audio and video secret shows for your contribution. Yours is on the way. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now.
Damn, this is kind of a sign of the times. But the prosecutor in Lyle's case, at least one of them, argued that men could not be raped because they lack the necessary equipment to be raped.
Really? Yeah, you wouldn't say that now.
No.
That would be hugely controversial if you tried to say that now. We'd be wrong we'd be wrong if we did not make mention of the fact that Pete Rose has died. The baseball great. Yes, that's right. Pete Rose, very controversial. All right. Because he was the gambling baseball coach. But baseball's all-time hit king, Cincinnati Reds icon Pete Rose, has died at 83 years old.
Fatality.
They used to call him Charlie Hustle, and they said that he played 3 World Series championship teams, played for them. The Reds stacked Big Red Machine roster in 75 and 76, and the Philadelphia Phillies in 1980. Was voted to the National League's All-Star team 17 times, won National League Rookie of the Year in 1963 and MVP in 1973. He gambled on his own team, and it ended his budding baseball managerial career. He was a manager at the time and has not made it into the Hall of Fame. Very controversial about that.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. There's 2 things that you can never, ever explain to me. It's why people light off fireworks during the day and why Pete Rose is not allowed in the Hall of Fame for gambling on his own team.
Yeah, it's kind of a zero tolerance.
He wasn't throwing games.
No,
he was gambling on his team to win. You could argue that that's unfair in the gambling world because there were times when he wouldn't gamble on his team because he did not believe that they had an advantage. That's unfair to the gambling world,
right?
But I don't get how that's wrong to the baseball world.
I'm with you, and I understand why baseball says we just don't want any gambling by the players.
It's a zero tolerance thing. Yeah, I get it.
But you're right. If you bet on yourself, you're not going to sabotage that in any meaningful way.
Right.
You're just saying, hey, I think we kick ass, and I want to make some money or some additional money off of this. So I agree with you. There are still people who are hesitant to allow him into the Hall of Fame. Will his death change that? That's an interesting question. We'll have to see what happens the next time the Hall of Fame window opens up for the MLB. We want to hear from you. Those dispatches are piling up right now. I want to talk about Hurricane Helene conspiracies because those are building up out there. We got the next episode as well. That is building up out there. And we're going to hear from you. All of that is on the way.
Actually, it's unbuilding. You took the Pete Rose story from her. So
two stories already taken. So I'm excited to see what next segment. Yep.
How is Pete Rose in the next episode?
Well, fortunately, you didn't say that particular detail. So I guess you'll hear it during the next episode.
All right. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, it's National Taco Day. Plus, we'll talk vice presidential debate. We'll do the Froggers football follow-up. 4 o'clock, it's What'd You Do That's New. At 4:20, the Promenade comes in for the Best Of Challenge. At 5:20, it's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. For trivia, it's tickets to Halloween Horror Nights. Plus, your calls, text, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Doing a quick check-in on some of the major roadways here on I-4 eastbound. You're going to come across a bit of congestion approaching State Road 535. Other than that, traffic is up to speed. No major problems on I-95 and State Road 429 in the Greenway. It's smooth sailing there. Authorities are clearing up an earlier accident on Colonial Drive near Goldenrod Road. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer custom-made faux wood and real wood blinds and shutters, cellular shades, Roman shades, bamboo shades, exterior shades, and more, all at factory direct prices. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com.
The countdown is on, and there won't be another presidential debate before the election, but there will be a vice presidential debate. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz for the Democrats.
Kamala Harris is going to stand up and fight for your freedom.
And Ohio Senator J.D. Vance for the Republicans.
We're going to close down that border.
2 vice presidential hopefuls go one-on-one for the first and only time. Tonight at 9 Eastern. Listen on iHeart's 24/7 News channel. Just open the free app and search Debate.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Boost Mobile built America's newest 5G network and made it easier than ever to switch. And when you do, you can get a free Galaxy A25 5G. Need to hook up the whole family? With Boost Mobile, you can get 4 unlimited lines and 4 free 5G phones for only $100 per month. To switch, head to your local Boost Mobile store today and get your free Galaxy A25 5G or 4 unlimited lines and 5G phones for $100 a month. New customers only. Requires auto pay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
Oh, here we go.
The next generation of WWE superstars.
Welcome to NXT
NXT has a new home.
NXT is moving to the CW.
The CW is the new home of NXT Wrestling.
This is gonna be fun.
Tonight, special guest CM Punk kicks things off live from Chicago.
Get hype, baby! Get pumped!
Don't miss the series premiere of NXT tonight on the CW.
Tonight, beginning at 8, only on CW 18.
Join the Monsters in the Morning live broadcast from Touchstar Cinemas for the red carpet premiere of Daisy Del Toro's new movie, Melt on This Music. Friday, October the 18th, starting at 6 a.m. 2 chances for you to be one of the first people to catch the new film, 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Get your tickets now at RealRadioMonsters.com. General admission and VIP packages available starting at just $15. Oh, I almost forgot. Tequila Del Toro and Triple R blended whiskey special sold at the bar. The red carpet premiere of Daisy Del Toro's new movie, Melt on This Music, Friday, October 18th, starting at 6 a.m. All the information and tickets are available at RealRadioMonsters.com.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles.
Morgan & Morgan, dial pound 529 on your cell phone. Pound law, that's all.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, dollar, D-O-L-L-A-R. That's dollar. Enter it now at realradio.fm. Good luck.
.com and grab the latest shirt. It's a long sleeve, short sleeve in 2 different colors. It's there for you. It's how you can show your support for the show. Check that out at thenewsjunkie.com. My rejoin voiceover didn't play. Let me fix that so it doesn't ever do that again. And there we go. All right. Almost fully successfully transferred over to the new laptop.
Yeah.
But a couple of hiccups here
I
and
feel
there.
like our what? B+?
I don't know. The problem now is I already was in a position where I was doing the transfer, and while moving to the new laptop, I had a super shortage of rejoins that I could play, and now I'm up to 4 tabs of rejoins, and I have to add 8 more to be fully done, and then I can add new rejoins finally. So it's annoying. It's the repetitiveness of segging up all these stupid rejoins. Anyhow, the VP debate is tonight. It is going down tonight. It's on CBS News. And J.D. Vance is the Republican going to face off against Democrat Tim Walz. Anybody going to be watching? Plan to tune into this, yay or nay?
If I remember, I'll tune in. I don't know how long I'll stay watching. But likely I'll just catch up on the clips tomorrow.
What do you think, C-Lane?
Maybe. What time is it?
The time is September. It doesn't say on the thing I'm looking at, so you might have to figure that out for me. CBS News in New York. It's going to be tonight on CBS and various other outlets. And it'll be maybe the first and maybe only debate, depending on what happens after this, between the VPs. We know that the presidential contenders, Trump and Kamala Harris, are not going to face off again. Trump has said he doesn't want to do another debate, so everybody just kind of skipped past that. We only got about a month left here, so you got to get this VP debate in sometime. So now we're going to do it. And
9 p.m., that's late.
It is a little late. I wonder how much in preparing for these kind of debates. We know they do all sorts of stuff. We know that they build fake stages and they pretend to be the opposition, and they do a whole fake version of the debate. But I wonder if they plan specifically for what Sabrina just mentioned, because I believe that far more people in this world of ours see clips than see live events like the debate. Even though the debate between Trump and Kamala Harris had a huge audience, it's still only a fraction of the people that see one clip, two clips, three clips online.
Red clip, blue clip.
Right. And I think you must have to think about that beforehand. You got to be cutting these things and posting them on Twitter as fast as you can, getting best ofs put on YouTube.
I would be curious if there's even a way to quantify this, but I would love to see the viewership of the presidential debate with former President Trump, Vice President Harris, versus the number of people who have seen some form of they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, like some remix, a clip, any form of that.
I bet way more.
Exponential.
Yeah, I bet way more. The clips are so much more powerful. We live in a clip-based world. I saw a guy the other day, forgot where he was walking into. It could have been a theme park or it could have been Publix or somewhere. Let's just say it was Publix. Let's say it was the grocery store, friend. And this guy, he parks toward the end because a lot of the spots at the grocery store were taken up, parks his car and gets out. And I park and I get out as well. And I'm walking, me and Courtney are talking about some things. We're talking about what we need to get, et cetera, et cetera. I look over at this guy and he can't be in his own head for the walk from the parking lot to the grocery store. So he's got his phone in front of him, full volume, TikTok, watch a little bit, swipe, watch a little bit, swipe, watch a little bit, swipe, watch a little bit, swipe. And that's the world for some people right now.
That's why he parked so far. You got to get the TikTok walk.
You get your TikTok walk in, and he couldn't be alone in his head.
It drove you insane, didn't it?
It didn't drive me insane, but it made me just think about like the refusal to just be in your head for a hot second and pull away.
Maybe his head's a scary place, man.
It could be. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if this makes it any better, but he's just staring at it. Boom.
Sound like you're defending this guy, Sabrina. Are you a TikTok walker?
No. I would run into a wall if I did.
He was
the other day,
barely looking.
I did do some YouTube and walking because the trailer for Last of Us Season 2 came out.
Oh,
and
did it?
I had to watch it at that moment. So then I got into the elevator. I made sure that it loaded up enough so that I wouldn't lose signal.
Oh, wait. When's The Last of Us Season 2 coming out?
In 2025?
Yeah, we've had to wait forever for this one. It's been
Where's Severance?
Severance is still
and
not
Silo.
I don't know. And if I'm honest with you, Severance seems pretty easy to film.
Yes.
I'm just saying. They're just in an office here.
You telling me that the new season of Severance is going to be just graphically, effects filled and different?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think they have to build zombies for this. I don't think they have to wreck cities for this like they do The Last of Us or Silo. Or I think it's probably a lot easier. But here we are, regardless. That guy was just scroll. It's short attention spans. That's how people watch stuff. Now, what is going to be expected? What does each of these people need to prove? J.D. Vance is sort of your textbook debate bro guy. So he's probably expected to perform pretty well here. And he's not like Trump, where he would be susceptible to be triggered by something and explode on it. J.D. Vance is only going to be concerned with two things: the debate as it's going down and Trump's reaction while watching. So he'll have an audience of one with Trump where he'll specifically be worried about that and be saying things going, I know Trump is watching. He'll get mad at me if I don't say X, Y, or Z. Must say this about the election. Must say this about that. I think that'll be the one thing that he struggles with. But he's done a bunch of interviews. He's not scared to mix it up, even with people who hate him. And Tim Walz has done the opposite. And Tim Walz has kind of been floating some stuff out there where he was more worried about this, not as much of a debater, not really confident in his strengths on that. But he's got to show people that he's not as radical as a lot of people who are centrists or independents think that he might be, that he doesn't tell all these little white lies all over the place. And Walz has to try to combat that. But J.D. Vance, I think, needs to combat this idea that it's all mean all the time. I told you this before. The mean thing does not work in the long run. You can amass a group of followers. let's say you have a Twitter account and you just go full rage bait. You can amass a big audience quickly. It is, relatively speaking, easy to do. You stir all these things up. Then you have an audience that's full of a bunch of pain-in-the-ass people who are not the greatest human beings, but you've done it nonetheless. But it doesn't win for you in the end. You have to be more than just mean and aggressive. I think he's got to show another side, and maybe he'll do that. We'll see what happens with the debate tonight. Are you going to watch? Let us know. What are you looking for? Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your dispatch now.
Wikipedia does say that Severance is back January 17th.
Damn, 2025? When was the first season? 2020.
Okay. The last episode of the last season was April 8th, 2022.
Jeez.
That's 1 year, 9 months, and 9 days it took to put out another season.
That's a long time. I start forgetting about things. I got to rewatch it or watch some YouTube thing where they go on the first season of Severance, and they tell you all the things that you missed. I don't like that. Not a huge fan. But I do like this. A Montana rancher is in jail. He is in jail. A rancher. And the reason why is pretty interesting. This rancher went out on his own and cloned a protected species of sheep to try to create giant sheep. He wanted to create these big, massive, behemoth sheep for trophy hunting. Because when I think hunting, I think sheep. Who doesn't want to go out there and knock off a sheep or two? He was sentenced to 6 months in federal prison. Jack Schubarth, 81, will serve the sentence and is fined $20,000. He said he was ashamed of his actions. I will have to work the rest of my life to repair everything I've done. The cloned sheep was confiscated by federal authorities and will eventually be transferred to a zoo. Its hybrid offspring were sold to buyers in multiple states. Those remaining on his ranch will be slaughtered. The remaining sheep. He created these sheep. He wasn't supposed to do this. These sheep are the largest in the world.
That will take the sheep. No,
they're going to slaughter the ones that are left on the ranch. They haven't gone to these buyers, and they said these sheep are 300 pounds. They have horns that span 5 feet long, and he's tried to clone these and create them on his own. But you're not allowed to do that, apparently. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina. What's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? Moo Dang Mania is now in its video game era. Hoes! If you're wearing a band shirt, you may be asked to name 5 of their songs. If you show up by yourself as a grown man to a girl group concert, you may be asked why by security. Plus, live from a vacant building, it's Spirit Halloween's response to Saturday Night Live. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James Miguel and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. For today, we've got some thunderstorms on the way this afternoon. Anytime between 3 and 6 p.m., we've got a likely chance for some soakers with lots of lightning and wind gusts to 40 miles per hour. Ahead of all of that, we're going to warm up into the lower 90s today. High temperature close to 92 degrees with partly cloudy skies. For tomorrow, rain chances going down to 40%. That'll be the case for the rest of the week. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Safe Touch Security.
Save up to 50% on select security systems with Safe Touch Security. With upgrades like remote door locks, video doorbell, thermostat control, and camera, all controlled by your MySafeTouch app. Visit safetouch.com. State license number EF200002049.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
We've all made questionable decisions in life. Like that time that you frosted the tips of your hair.
but hiring an attorney shouldn't be. I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all injury cases. If you are not completely satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com.
Taking an antidepressant but still dealing with stress, mood swings, and trouble sleeping? Maybe your depression medication isn't working as well as it could. Find out by taking part in a clinical research study. Compensation is available to those who qualify and enroll. Call CNS Healthcare at 407-425-5100 or go to cnshealthcare.com to schedule an assessment for more on this depression research study for people who aren't satisfied with their current depression medication. That's cnshealthcare.com.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. Call A1 Garage Door Service today.
A1 from day one.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter.
You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This season on the new podcast, Rip Current, the story of the only two women who tried to assassinate an American president.
A woman fired a shot at President Ford in San Francisco this afternoon.
One was a protege of Charles Manson.
26-year-old Lynette Fromm, nicknamed Squeaky.
The other, a middle-aged housewife undercover for the FBI.
Identified by police as Sarah Jean Moore.
Listen to Rip Current on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Rip Current and start listening.
For 36 years, I've dedicated my life to law enforcement. With time, I've gained invaluable experience. And with that experience, a strong desire to evolve. I've worked to transform our Sheriff's Department, ensuring we have the latest technology to protect our community and maintain our commitment to our youth. Being a proven leader means embracing change, because with growth and innovation, we can achieve remarkable results and build a safer community for everyone. Paid by Mike Chitwood, Independent for Sheriff.
Tim Walz of Minnesota.
I couldn't be prouder to be on this ticket.
J.D. Vance of Ohio.
I will give you everything I have.
Make their case for your vote in the vice presidential debate. Listen on iHeart's 24/7 news channel.
Search debate on the free iHeartRadio app.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Your direct line to the heroes that saved Canada that one time.
All you friends on YouTube who are watching the show right now, each and every one of you, take the moment to go over to thenewsjunkie.com and grab the latest merch drop over there. Much appreciated. I'm counting on you right now. So if you're watching on YouTube today, it's your day. Go over there, show support to the show by getting the latest shirt or long sleeve version of the shirt available in black or red. Is it over yet? And your name could be featured on the design. In fact, we'll pick one name during the show today that is going down on that design. YouTube, make sure you rally together, show your force. You watch the show every single day, and we expect this much out of you in return because the rest is free. So go do that. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and get yours now. All right, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
If there's just one thing, one final thing I could ask for, I want a giant penis.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up is right. And especially hold up if you're starting the process of refinancing your beautiful home. Or perhaps you're starting the process of buying your first dream home. Well, you got to work with that mortgage guy, Don. Go to thatmortgageguyDon.com to get the process started. And any question you got, he has an answer for you. And direct access to the man himself is right there on the website. ThatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
It was 33 years ago, 1991. On this day, the white crystal beaded glove worn by
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Woo-hoo! That is correct. Both points. It was stolen in the Motown Museum in Detroit.
Damn.
Now, whom, for 2 extra points, foolishly offered a $50,000 reward for its return?
Michael Jackson?
No.
Tito.
It was not Tito. No Jacksons. There was
no Jacksons at all. Is it a celebrity?
It is a celebrity. Offered $50,000 for its return, and then I would imagine a few years later they were like, "What $50,000? You went bankrupt."
Oh, damn! MC Hammer.
MC Hammer is correct.
Wow. You know, I knew that.
How?
Because she said bankrupt, and I know the story. MC Hammer spent all of his money on stupid stuff like that. He really did.
Like rewards for a glove.
He brought all of his friends everywhere and just spent so much of his money. All that can't touch this money was right out the window.
You used to do that for us. Remember back in the day?
Yeah.
Go play that piano for $400.
Not doing that anymore.
Son of a gun. I
should do it again. The show is better.
We've gone downhill since Frank
It was
Monkey.
easier with the bills, I'll tell you that much. Well, look what time it is. It's time to wake up Billy Joe Armstrong.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Happy October 1st, everybody.
Do you think he just shuts off his phone?
Wake up, Billy.
Right now?
Probably.
A whole month. Just taking a nap, that Billy Joe.
Can't believe we're in October already.
Me too. So much to do, so little time. And when it comes to Billy Joe, now that he's up and at 'em, there's one place he cannot be heard, and that's in Vegas, baby. He has been banned from not one, but 2 Las Vegas radio stations.
I saw this.
Because
this seems kind of dumb to me.
A little bit. Billy Joe Armstrong called the city of Las Vegas an asshole. And they're like, well, we're not going to play you anymore. A recent show in San Francisco, Billy Joe commented on the team, the Oakland Athletics, moving to Vegas. He says, we don't take that crap from people like effing A's owner, John Fisher. I hate Las Vegas. It's the worst asshole in America. One radio host in Vegas said, well, maybe Billy Joe should take a look at the city and the people involved in that transaction and then talking smack about the city of Las Vegas, huh?
This is the equivalent. If you don't like America, get the hell out of here.
Shut up and play your guitar, Billy.
Vegas, was it official that Sin City was the Vegas motto thing or like their tagline?
Or what happens in Vegas?
Or was that unofficial? Because I feel like Vegas embraces that side of things. If he's calling Vegas an S-hole,
okay, he's not calling it a sin hole.
No. I mean, even if he's calling it the S-word hole, who cares? A lot of people say this kind of stuff about Vegas. He's still there.
Well, people are big mad, or at least 2 radio hosts who have said, we are not going to play your music, so take that. Now, the
I'm sure the Killers are going to meet Green Day out behind the gymnasium.
Whip them real good.
Is that where they're from?
Oh, yeah, Killers of Vegas. They call Vegas home.
Ah, got it. Well,
I think Vegas is okay, but Vegas for any long exposure of time is, in fact, an S-hole. Sorry, Vegas friends.
And so is that airplane ride back.
Yeah, that is
stinky
miserable.
and sad.
Oh, and I should say, let me just go on the record here saying, when I say Vegas, I mean like the touristy part of Vegas. I'm not talking about you folks who live outside of that and you say it's beautiful neighborhoods. I'm just talking about the touristy stuff.
We heard earlier that unfortunately we lost a baseball great, and that is Pete Rose, who has passed away. See ya, Pete.
How do
And while he should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, at least he lived to see himself enshrined in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did you know that happened?
No, I did not.
Yow.
I didn't know he was into wrestling.
He became the first member of the Hall's Celebrity Wing in 2004 after making several appearances at WWE pay-per-view events, which would end with him getting decimated by Kane, the wrestler Kane. It started in 98 when Pete took to the ring at WrestleMania 14 in Boston, started running down the Red Sox. Here we are, full circle. And now Kane came out and delivered the Tombstone Pile Driver right to Pete Rose's face. And the crowd went wild, and that bit was born. And now Pete Rose is dead. So there you have it. Another bit that has been making the rounds is, of course, Saturday Night Live, their season premiere. And a lot of people have been complimenting the Spirit Halloween sketch that they put together.
I liked it.
I thought it was
it was all right.
I just watched it yesterday. Well, now Spirit Halloween has something to say.
This is the theme for Spirit Halloween. Grandma wet and can't stop screaming. Here's the thing about Spirit Halloween. They got skeletons.
So, Spirit Halloween, they're now heading back at SNL, who aired that sketch.
What was the last line?
Skeleton. Yeah.
They do.
I heard something totally different.
What'd you hear?
I can't say it.
I'm trying to
What's
even
it
think
start
what
with? Is it the N-word? Oh.
He's whispering.
I didn't say it on there.
Yeah, I figured.
Scared? Yeah, I can't say it.
I mean, if you're calling someone that.
No.
I do want to call somebody that in a public fight, though. Listen here, scaredy tease.
You know what came to me the other day was when Courtney was like, no S word lock.
Yeah.
I'm like, I really need to remember to say that.
She said it with such confidence, too. I loved it.
So when let's see where they actually made their comment. SNL had mentioned in the skit, we are great at raising things back from the dead. And then it was a post shared by SNL, I guess, with a link to the sketch. And then the post was accompanied by a photo of a costume honoring SNL. That's where Spirit Halloween comes in, calling it an irrelevant 50-year-old TV show.
All right.
The costume's packaging said it also included dated references, unknown cast members, and shrinking ratings.
Ooh.
Ha. Got him.
Were they dressed as Donald Trump when they, or orange-haired president because it can't use the real things?
Oh, some of those are so funny. They're like Chucky's supposed to be bad toy instead of actual Chucky.
I think the best bit on that first SNL back was the Moodang thing.
My God,
I thought that was pretty funny. The whoever built the costume for that, 3 cheers to you. The costume.
And what are you going to do with it now? Because I want to be that for Halloween.
It looked like wet, and it was so well done. It was a really good execution.
So we have men who attended a concert for this band right here. I do not believe you'll get it.
Gonna get it. That
Coldplay?
No.
Is
I have my sentence now at last.
Chaperone?
No. It's called Last Dinner Party.
Oh, I love Last Dinner Party.
And so do a bunch of dudes. And for some reason, the security at this venue for last dinner party decided to really go at the male concert goers and treat them poorly. And now the men are upset and the venue is apologizing. It's a venue in Lincoln. They said they're sorry for the treatment of some male attendees at this planned concert for last dinner party. The band ultimately canceled shortly before showtime due to illness. That's even more awkward. One guy on X wrote that upon arriving at the engine shed, this is over in the UK, he was funneled into a dark corner with other men, told I might be a pervert because I'm here alone, and then taken into a room alone with a security guard where I was interrogated and searched. Feel sick.
If that really happened, that's kind of weird because they don't appear to be a kids band or they're just a
kind of like a but
indie
all-girl
rock
group, right?
Yeah.
Another man wrote, I rocked up there tonight at 8:45 on my own, no queue, which is aligned for America talk. I got asked how long I had liked them for and to name my favorite song by them. I thought it was a bit strange and the first time I've ever felt like I'm on Mastermind to get into a gig. Now I've read this and I understand why. A
How do you
third
guys
said,
feel-
whisked away, searched, and condescending questions were given.
How do you guys feel about people who approach you at something like that and they do the whole name 3 songs? You're not a real fan. What are you even doing here?
I 100% want to participate in that.
I'm really bad at song titles, so I would do poorly.
One of the reasons I say that is because I know that there are bands that do this. Billy Joel is famously one of them.
For autographs?
No, they go to like the upper levels and find people with terrible tickets, and they're like, "How big of a fan are you?" And they answer a couple questions about the band, and then they give them front row seats.
Oh, okay. I like that, but I'm talking about.
I'm like, can I sing a part of the song because I don't know the title? Thank you.
Let's say there's a 15-year-old girl who's wearing a Pantera shirt, and some dude walks by her, and he's like, "You got a Pantera fan? You're not a name 3 songs by Pantera."
Fuel.
That move, I think, is kind of douchey.
Satan's
I think
butt.
It's really lame.
On the boob tube. We got the vice presidential debate at 9 p.m., the 15th season premiere of The Real Housewives of New York City. You can catch the stand-up special Tim Dillon, This Is Your Country on Netflix, then the streaming premiere of The Mousetrap on Peacock. You can catch Sarah Paulson and Teddy Swims on Fallon. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. Most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. And even though I put the pressure on YouTube today to go show force and gobble up as many of the new shirt design as they can, they're not featured on Mega Chat today. It didn't connect right. It's not pulling in the YouTube chat, so it's only Twitch chat, which Twitch is a small number compared to the amount of people who watch the show live every day on YouTube. So even though we need their support, we can't see what they're saying. So YouTube, I hope you're out there. Help us out. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and get the Is It Over shirt while you can. When we come back, some of these Hurricane Helene conspiracies. We'll talk about those. Jason Sudeikis finds himself in the headlines once more. And a bunch of parrots overrun a town and cause chaos. What's going down? We'll talk about that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Watch out for an accident on Welch Road near Wakiva Springs Road. There's an earlier accident where Colonial Drive meets Goldenrod Road. Other than that, it's pretty mellow on the major roadways here. You could expect your regular congestion on the minor roadways, including Orange Blossom Trail approaching Land Street. There's intersection backups where Vine Street meets John Young Parkway. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Florida Power and Light.
I'm Jennifer, and I'm an FPL customer. I appreciate that at FPL, they are always teaching me how power works and how you can save money.
Find more ways to save energy and money at FPL.com/ways to save. FPL, working for you every single day.
Sponsored by Tijuana Flats, your home for National Taco Week now through Sunday.
Is it a cold, allergies, or could it be a sinus issue? Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you find out. A recent study has shown that 45% of patients who suffer from allergies also suffer from chronic sinus issues that are often left untreated. So ditch those nasal sprays and over-the-counter meds for good and find a solution that actually works. The specialists at Aspire Allergy and Sinus make it easy by identifying the problem and creating a custom plan to tackle it. Go to aspireallergy.com to schedule your appointment. That's aspireallergy.com.
Get ready for fall road trips with Pep Boys. Shop and save on newly reduced prices on hundreds of tires. Save up to $420 instantly on select Cooper tires. That's up to $300 in savings with buy 3 get the 4th free, plus $120 in savings with free installation. Don't miss this chance to save big. Buy 3 get the 4th free, plus free installation on select Cooper tires. Ends 10/20/24. Tire discount equals the retail price of one tire in a purchase set, excluding taxes. Terms and exclusions apply. Visit pepboys.com for details.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today. Dial pound 250 and say great results. That's pound 250, say great results.
We all think about buying a house instead of renting, right? But did you ever realize you're renting your electricity every single month? Yep, overpaying the power company and watching prices rise every year. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power with Solar Source? I started with my pool heater going solar, and now I'm thrilled with Solar Source's pay-as-you-go system where I can save each month starting at only $99. Now, Solar Source isn't new to this game. They've been in business for nearly 40 years with the same phone number since 1984 and over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They are the company I trust. Are you ready to stop renting your electricity? Switch to Solar Source today and start owning your own power. Switch to Solar Source today by going to solarsource.com/monster. Honestly, going Solar Source has been the best thing we've done all year. I absolutely love the company, and you save more money when you tell them you know Russ Rollins. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
It's the time of year when everyone is making plans to hit the road. If you're gearing up to get outside, Amazon Automotive is here to help. Whether you're hitting the beach, the trail, or somewhere in between, you'll find great deals on parts and accessories for your car, truck, motorcycle, or RV. Simply visit us online to customize your vehicle with a wide selection of floor mats, bike racks, camping equipment, power sports, accessories, and more. Get going today at Amazon.com/automotive. That's Amazon.com/automotive.
Wawa makes the right handcrafted beverages for the right time. And now, handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. Jump out of bed for a nice latte. Take a lunch break for a smoothie. Or celebrate with a late-night milkshake. Wawa makes the right beverages for the right time. Now at an even better price. Get smoothies, lattes, or any handcrafted 16-ounce or 24-ounce beverage for just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
Honey, I'm going to Wawa for dinner.
Okay, but Ben wants pizza.
Yup.
And Nick wants a burger and fries.
Right.
Oh, and the twins, they won't touch anything except for mac and cheese.
Exactly. Wawa has something for everyone for dinner, so I only have to make one stop to make everyone happy. So, what do you want?
Well, if you're going to Wawa, I have to have a hoagie.
From burgers to hoagies and everything in between, Wawa has dinner for everyone.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
New South Window Solutions. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND, G-R-A-N-D, GRAND. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Filling in the gaps between the New York Times and World Star. This
Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and you go with them. I want you to support the show. A big middle finger to the suits. If we put in big numbers merch-wise, let's see if we can pull that off. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. Show your support for the show right now. If you listen every day, it's a great way to pay back. All right? This is a great way to show us that you're out there, that you care. I'm going to be shipping all these things out, and I want to see your name on these packages. I want to see your city on these packages. So get them now while you can before the window closes on this, probably on Friday of this week. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. There are a lot of celebrities that have been freaking out a little bit. They're saying that their fans are too much. They're going to war with their fans. Sometimes their fans are going to war with other people. Talked about Saturday Night Live and Bowen Yang pretending to be Moo Dang, the viral hippopotamus. Mm-hmm. And it was a very funny bit. But in it, he said, I'm getting too famous. I don't like this. And he brought up the pop singer Chappell Roan.
He didn't specifically bring up Chappell Roan, but she was the latest to make this argument. So they're connecting the dots where I think correctly connecting the dots. But now he's saying like it could have been anybody or.
Right.
I think he has tried to clap back at some of the criticism he's got because they're like he's using Chappell Roan's mental health as fodder for comedy.
All right, here's the problem with this pop singer that you probably never heard of, Chappell Roan. Chappell Roan went from obscurity to an absolute megastar in the music world, now playing shows for 80,000 people. And in doing this, it does not appear that this person has grown out their team to deal with all the stressors that come about being a mega star. I would suggest something for anybody who is mega famous on that level. Do not, under any circumstances, ever do your own social media accounts. That is a bad idea. You will be turned around upside down. All sorts of really dumb people saying really mean things about you constantly. Outsource it. Just create the things you want to create. Get the messages out there you want to get to your fans. But don't look through your Instagram comments. Don't do that kind of stuff. And I guess her fans were going a little crazy and sickened after this Bowen Yang guy for the sketch. And Jason Sudeikis says his fans are bothering him He begs persistent fans to stop scaring him while asking for autographs. He says, I'm just a human being. And these people were waiting outside of his hotel for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And then he pops out, and then he's upset because they're all hounding him to try to get autographs. And you know what? Unpopular opinion to some. He's exactly right. People are weird. People are too demanding. People are bothersome when it comes to celebrities out in public. They don't owe you. You don't owe them anything. You don't, as a celebrity, you don't owe these people any experience with them.
God, but the people who demand it are very sure that you do.
They are. They're very sure that they have a normal expectation of you. And they'll go, oh, do that thing you do from the movie. Do the thing from the movie. Or if you're a comedian, do a joke. Do the joke you do about the thing. No. Leave these people alone. Be normal. I would have yelled at so many more people. Just be normal, for God's sake. Jason Sudeikis is right. Some of these fans can get a little overbearing, and they're chasing them down, and they just be a nice, normal person. The Real Water Boys of Central Florida says, just because I wanted a hug in the men's room, quit being a bitch, Sean. I would give you a hug in the men's room, sir. I would do that for you, but a lot of
Sean would take you to the men's room just to hug you.
Yeah, let's get in there.
It's a
let's
mouth
get
hug.
this done. No, it's not that. Let's just get a normal hug in. That's what we're going for. Okay, we're going to hear your dispatches here momentarily. Abraham Dragonfriend said, this is why I didn't approach Sean at the bowling tournament. You guys can approach me. It's going to be fine. Just don't be weird. Just be normal. And that will be a nice time.
But for some people, their normal is weird.
I know. I've noticed that. I've seen that happen before my very eyes, actually. There is a parrot invasion, an invasion of adorability causing havoc in Argentinian towns. One of them is
Are they
a place
repeating things over and over again? Because that sounds just fun.
This is a place called Hilario Ascasubi.
How do you say cucumber?
Yeah.
Hilario Ascasubi is not related to Hilario Baldwin, as best we know, but it is a place that is on Argentina's eastern Atlantic coast, and they have a parrot problem. I think this video is supposed to highlight it. Let's see what they say.
This Argentine town has a parrot problem.
Told you.
They hang out on power lines, screeching and defecating on the town of Hilario Ascasubi. The birds also reportedly cause costly damages to cables. There's so many of them. Locals tell Reuters there are up to 10 parrots for each of the town's 5,000 human residents.
Oh, there's 10 parrots for all of the residents of the town. And there's, how many did they say? 5,000 residents that live in this town?
So those are the same type of parrots that completely took over Miami. Like,
oh, did they really?
In South Florida. Every time I go to visit my parents, I am constantly seeing those they're little green parrots.
Okay.
And it was because one dude brought them over here decades ago, and then
crazy?
They bred like crazy.
Yeah, isn't that crazy how that works? That's why people tell you can't bring these things from one country to the next. Animals that aren't inherently existing in one place should not be brought there because this kind of thing happens. And then these people get all mad. This reason is different than what you're saying, though. Because in Argentina, they've been doing a lot of deforestation. They've been cutting down the trees, essentially. The parrots don't have places to go. You cut down all their parrot trees, and they're coming to your cities. It's what's going to happen. Thousands of the green, yellow, and red birds invaded, driven by deforestation in the surrounding hills, according to biologists. They bite on the electric cables, sounds like a bad idea, causing outages. They're driving residents around the bend with their incessant screeching and deposits of everywhere parrot poo. And over and over and over, the troubles come.
Locals say they've tried noise and laser lights to scare the birds away, but nothing seems to work.
Laser
parrots
lights
started showing up a few years ago,
Bird
hanging
race.
out in the town in autumn and winter. Biologists say parrots are landing in the cities due to deforestation and the disappearance of nearby hills.
Yes, so you get the point.
Parrots.
It sounds like the most adorable invasion ever, but I guess if I lived there, I might have a different take on this whole thing. Let us know what you think. I do have a problem of my own with what you might think are beautiful peacocks in my neck of the woods. But they're loud.
Just going to pick up dry cleaning a couple days ago, and I swear I counted 50 of them.
There's so many.
Everywhere.
They're big birds, You've probably already noticed that they don't care much about cars. They're not hyper worried about getting out of your way.
They go slower, actually.
Yeah, they'll slow down, and they are a nuisance overall. But everybody else goes, oh, look how adorable they are. What do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. With anything, the conspiracies come very quickly. Hurricane Helene, no different. A lot of people saying now that the Democrat governor of the state of North Carolina is not helping out Republican areas as much as they possibly could. Or is this Georgia? Maybe it's Georgia. I'm trying to see which state Trump is complaining about. Trump
I saw
tweeted
some girl
about
on TikTok. She's like, is it a, quote, natural disaster if it's all the red states?
What a brain dead take. The hurricane was directed at political
They figured out
faction.
the Democrats can control weather.
Yeah, that's what the hurricane hunter does. That's why there was 3 pilots. The third pilot was actually steering the hurricane into the red states.
Man, political battles would be really heated if it was the case. If we were at the level of steering hurricanes into any general direction, you might find that happening some point down the road. But no, that's not real, folks. That conspiracy is not real. And it seems like the bigger problem is that, let's go to not Georgia, but North Carolina. Let's use that as the example. It's not an easy fix here. If a hurricane rolls through Miami, it's pretty easy to mobilize forces and go to Miami and help everybody that needs to be helped. But if a hurricane goes through a much more, remote area where it's not a big giant city and everybody's living on top of each other, the efforts to help those people are more complex. And that's what I think this comes down to. It's not even as simple as it was after New Orleans got hit with Katrina, where there was just failures all the way through in government officials, from the mayor and his Chocolate City promises and all this other stuff.
I forgot about Chocolate City.
Ray Nagin. And Ray Nagin had no plan for people to evacuate New Orleans at that time. But even that wasn't political. It was just a guy who was a dope who didn't know how to prepare for a catastrophic event hitting his city. Maybe I'm just naive, but I don't think this is a political thing where the hurricane hit. And there are a lot of political things out there. This doesn't appear to be one of them. But maybe you believe. Let us know. Send us a dispatch, video or otherwise, on thenewsjunkie.com. We can work in a dispatch, I think, real quick. Let's go over to Jackie talking about the Menendez brothers.
I think the Menendez brothers do deserve another trial, and it's because once their first trial was a mistrial, all the time in between, you had the O.J. Simpson trial going on, and since he got off easy, the prosecution of the state didn't want to let them get off easy, so they didn't get to have a whole bunch of information brought in about the abuse from the first trial, and there is all these other documentaries out where the dad really did molest some other people from the Menudo,
the boy band
group. So I think, yeah, they murdered their mother and father, which is bad. But if they would have been able to have a different charge because it was aggravated by all their abuse, then they would have time served now.
All right. Thank you, Jackie. She wants another trial for him. I disagree, Jackie, and here's why. All right. When I watched this Menendez case, it's very clear to me, first, they wanted to pretend that the mafia did this. Then they just said it wasn't us. We had nothing to do with it. Then all of these tapes from their psychologists came out, and it was quite clear that they were the responsible party. And even then, they didn't come out with the argument that they did this because they were abused. They still were hesitant to do that until they were prodded by a couple of people, one of them being their attorney, to use this as a defense that the jury would side with. The jury, of course, doesn't want people to be abused by their parents. It's terrible, and it makes you.
Do you
less
think
likely.
maybe they didn't want to admit that they were abused?
Well, I think there's a chance that they were abused. I do. I think that there's a chance that their father, who seemed to be a pretty rough dude and seemed to do some inappropriate stuff, I think there's a chance that he was abusing them. But there's also an even greater chance that that wasn't their actual motivation for killing their dad. It was more driven by the fact that he was going to remove them from his will and that they would lose out all of this money. And that's what they were all about. Their entire identity was money and status, money and status. And the pressing thing was dad taking him out of the will. So I believe their motivation was probably money related. And it's also true at the same time that possibly they were abused. But money motivation is not something that's going to swing a jury. Abuse will. People will go, you killed somebody? How could you do that? Like I said earlier, you can't kill people. That's illegal. You're going to prison. But I killed him because he did this. Oh, okay. Oh, that's fine. I'll excuse
still
that.
Illegal. I mean,
I know, but that's not how people don't process things that way. I don't think. I think you go back to the guy that we said where he walked in on his child being abused and he beat the living hell out of the guy.
But he walked in on his child currently being abused. They didn't shoot their parents mid abuse. They went and got guns and ammo. They loaded up. That wasn't, at the scene of a crime where they were defending themselves. They planned it. It was premeditated. This is murder one.
But let's say you're a jury. You got a woman who shot her husband, killed her husband. And at first you go, she killed her husband? Oh my God, that's really bad. And then she goes, I killed my husband because he was beating me every single day. He was every single day beating me and torturing me and doing all. Now the jury is going to go, well, yeah, she killed him, but I mean, come on. And even if it wasn't present in the moment, she wasn't actively being attacked by him. I just think people process things that way. We can excuse murder. If Sabrina came in tomorrow and said, I murdered somebody, we go, whoa, holy cow, that's terrible. But if she said that something happened that we were all in agreement was a terrible thing that justified an angry response, and in fact, even a murderous response, I think it changes people's tunes.
And thanks for still coming to work, Seb.
Yeah, give us the story.
Murder you did.
I think people can excuse terrible behavior if something really bad happened to everybody or somebody. Not everybody. I don't want to happen to everybody. All right, quick break.
I think about if it's you sometimes. If you just called me up and be like, dude, I murdered. What do we?
You think I'm going to call you with a murder call?
Maybe. I don't know. Listen, you never call me unless you've done something really stupid. So
that's not false. Yeah, that's very true. We talked about that the other day. We got this Juggalo movie interview coming up. The director of Off Ramp, the fantastic movie. He's going to be joining us, I believe, at the top of the hour. So we'll see what he has to say. We got jury duty on the way, and another rumor in the wake of Hurricane Helene. This one's not political. There's rumors of an ice pick bandit on the loose. Is there any truth to this? What's happening out there? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Yeah, you got to get them a ramp on.
Anyway.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
The right lane is blocked on State Road 429 due to an accident northbound before Florida's Turnpike. There's an earlier accident on Colonial Drive at Goldenrod Road, still causing a bit of commotion. And there's an accident on Welch Road near Wakiva Springs. Traffic is slowing down through the city on I-4 between Colonial Drive and Parr Street. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Judy Justice.
Hello? You gotta get your story straight. What an idiot. Get it through your noodle. Don't give a rat's behind. That's baloney.
A new era begins.
And I'm just getting started.
Judy Justice.
Check your local listing to watch Judy Justice. Out now.
Blue Chew is the way that you can upcharge the action in your bedroom. And this is for every guy listening out there. You can benefit from this. And it's the same active ingredients in Blue Chew that you'll find in Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form. And these are performance enhancements for the bedroom. It can help you get more confidence when it's time to perform. It's an online prescription service, so you don't have to have any of those awkward combos that might not be something you want to deal with at the doctor's office. You don't have to wait in line at the pharmacy to grab your prescription. This comes right to your door in a discreet package. There it is. You can try it out and see if you enjoy it or not. And the deal that is going on now for you listeners is fantastic. If you don't like swallowing pills, Blue Chew tablets are chewable. It makes it even easier. Also, if you care about this kind of thing, and I think you should, Blue Chew tablets are made in the United States of America. They prepare and they ship them direct, so that's why it's cheaper than a pharmacy would be. Here's the deal on Blue Chew. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code TNJ. The promo code is TNJ. Use that at checkout when you go to BlueChew.com, and then all you have to pay is $5 for shipping. It's a really great deal, so you could try this out. That's BlueChew.com. Use the promo code TNJ to receive your first month free. Find out more at BlueChew.com.
If you missed our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. Las Vegas, make some noise!
Watch the best moments exclusively on Hulu, beginning Monday.
All right, you guys are out for a party, I can tell.
See the biggest festival headliners from around the world assembled on one stage on one show.
This iHeart energy is so incredible.
See it all at our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Streaming only on Hulu, beginning Monday.
How long have you been thinking about going solar? With power bills soaring higher and higher than ever, it's time to think about what you can save instead of what you're spending. Each year you wait, you could be losing thousands. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power or solar source? With over 40 years in business, Solar Source has over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They've had the same phone number since 1984. It's no wonder this company is the one I trust. I started with a pool heater solar, and now I'm thrilled that Solar Source has a pay-as-you-go system. I can save monthly, and it starts at $99. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Florida's law enforcement officers know how to keep us safe, but Tallahassee politicians think they know better. That's why they're lying about Amendment 3. The truth? Amendment 3 will protect Floridians from marijuana laced with deadly drugs like fentanyl and provide billions in funding for police. Here's Gadsden County Sheriff Morris Young on Amendment 3.
I'm Sheriff Morris Young. Illicit marijuana laced with illegal drugs like fentanyl have destroyed lives. I know because I've seen it firsthand. Amendment 3 will save lives by making marijuana safe, regulated, and lab tested. Amendment 3 will protect our community from dangerous illegal drugs while allowing law enforcement to focus on serious crimes. Vote yes on Amendment 3, the smarter and safer choice for Florida.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite number 3, 321 Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Generation of WWE superstars.
Welcome to NXT.
Has a new home.
NXT is moving to the CW.
The CW is the new home of NXT Wrestling.
This is gonna be fun.
Tonight, special guest CM Punk kicks things off live from Chicago.
Get hype, baby. Get pumped.
Don't miss the series premiere of NXT tonight on the CW.
Tonight, beginning at 8, only on CW18.
Get ready for fall road trips with Pep Boys. Shop and save on newly reduced prices on hundreds of tires. Save up to $420 instantly on select Cooper tires. That's up to $300 in savings with buy 3, get the 4th free, plus $120 in savings with free installation. Don't miss this chance to save big. Buy 3, get the 4th free, plus free installation on select Cooper tires. Ends 10/2024. Tire discount equals the retail price of one tire in a purchase set, excluding taxes. Terms and exclusions apply. Visit pepboys.com for details.
New South Window lives southern weather. We prioritize keeping your family and your home comfortable all year round. That's why our energy-efficient windows and doors are made, installed, and guaranteed for life.
Save 35% off. Visit newsouthwindow.com/radio.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
I'm Carrie Champion, and this is Season 4 of Naked Sports. Up first, I explore the making of a rivalry.
Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese.
Every great player needs a foil.
People are talking about women's basketball just because of one single game.
I just come here to play basketball every single day.
Clark and Reese have changed the way we consume women's sports. Listen to The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, and start listening.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND, G-R-A-N-D, GRAND. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
If it's important to you, it's on and probably being mocked by.
About the merch drop at thenewsjunkie.com. Got mine, she says. Can't wait. Appreciate you, Melissa, and everybody else for your orders so far at thenewsjunkie.com. A couple other people emailed tips at thenewsjunkie.com with stories about the podcast skipping. I'm pretty convinced at this point, if you download the podcast instead of streaming it, you will not get those skipping issues. So that's my advice moving forward. I want you to have a nice little podcast experience. And if you download it, you will be better off. And I would encourage anybody podcasting to do that. I know there's a lot of you, millions of people a year listen to the podcast. We appreciate you. We don't want you to be skipping around, having a bad time, but it is what it is. All right, we got to get all set up for jury duty. We got an interview with the director of this film, Off Ramp, coming up at the top of the hour. And people are freaking out about the ice pick bandit. Somebody says there's an ice pick bandit on the loose.
That doesn't sound safe.
Asheville, North Carolina doesn't want that right now. They got enough trouble with all the hurricane stuff. Yeah, it's bad. Hurricane Helene is problem enough for these poor people. But there's people spreading a rumor all over the place, especially on TikTok, that there is an ice pick attacker that is vandalizing places, attacking people, and flattening tires on vehicles and terrorizing folks. They said when asked about where this came from, it came down the grapevine. From one of the people who was talking about there being an ice pick bandit.
The same one people hear stuff on.
Yeah, it came right down that grapevine.
Okay.
All of the other infrastructure is shot, so grapevine's pretty much their only method of communication.
Not untrue, yeah. Whenever I see stuff like this, I go, it's funny. I love when people chase these down. Because when people start saying, you guys hear? They're eating the cats and the dogs in Springfield. And they go, where did you hear that? Oh, this person posted it on Facebook. And they go to that person's house and they knock. So you posted on Facebook that this was happening. What more can you tell me about it? Oh, heard it from a neighbor. My neighbor is the one who told me. This legitimately happened, what I'm explaining here. Go to the neighbor's house. Hey, where did you hear this rumor from? Oh, heard it from my cousin's friend. And this guy is a guy in the know. He knows what's happening. That is what's going down. Go to that person's house. You get the point. And eventually the guy goes, I don't know. I just heard it. I'm not telling you. I'm not divulging my sources.
Telephone, baby.
I'm not going to tell you what happened, but just trust me. Source, trust me, bro. There's an ice pick bandit out there, according to these folks online. Before we go to you and your dispatches, that's how you contribute to the show. I'd love to hear you or even see you. You can send a video dispatch. Today's the day. Show me your beautiful face. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send yours. You'll see where it says video right there on the homepage. In California, they're taking to doing something that a lot of other states are doing. Perhaps it could happen in this state as well. And they're saying we are no longer requiring drivers over 70 years old to take the written test for their driver's license when renewing their licenses. They said you are no longer required to take the written test to prove that you know about the rules of the road. We're eliminating the written knowledge test for those without traffic violations on their record to improve customer service. If thousands fewer people need to visit the DMV or could spend less time in an office, The people who need to take care of their business in one of our offices can be better served.
So wait, what is this changing? Are they're giving drivers over 70 currently written tests to keep their license?
Yes, yeah.
So now they just have to drive a car?
So in California, every state's different, but in California, you would have to go to the DMV after you were 70. You have to take a vision exam, which is obviously very important. Some of these folks can't see anymore, and they're behind the wheel of these dangerous vehicles. You would have to take a new photo, and you have to take the written test for your driver's license. But they've decided that, no, they're not going to require that part of it anymore because these old folks, they already know what they're doing out there. We don't need that longer requirement for them. And if you have any problems, if you get in trouble, then you got to do that. I am afraid of this happening because I don't know if I would pass the written test these days. It's been a long
good thing you're over 70.
time. If I'm over 70 and required to take the test, I would have to, at the very least, study for the driving test. There's always things that we believe or that we think we learned over the years. You know, can't turn right on this, can't turn left on this. What do you do at a blinking yellow light? I always screw those things up. I wait and see what everybody else is doing, and I go, okay, cool. This is the move. This is what we're supposed to do at the four-way stop.
You should refresh on the written exam then.
I bet you wouldn't pass it either. It's been
I think
so
all
long.
three of us should take it.
As a matter of fact, I would pass it because I had traffic school, and I feel like I'm refreshed.
Oh, yeah,
That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
I did the test in December, almost a year ago.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like at the beginning of the show when you had some troubles that you had to. You didn't go to traffic school for that one, I guess.
No, I didn't.
Okay. I'm going to go to the dispatches now. Let's see what people have on their mind. Let's see what Mr. Foo Pants, who I'm sure is a very reputable and respectful person, let's see what they're saying about North Carolina. Hello? That's my fault. Hang on. Here we go. Bring this up.
I think that what happened is that North Carolina probably sent a lot of their emergency vehicles down to staging areas in Florida, and then those vehicles and people that were down in Florida are stuck down here having to travel back through the path of Hurricane Helene to get back to North Carolina to help North Carolina, and that probably takes some time.
Yeah, there was a lot of people who got out of there, more in the area where it did the most damage in North Carolina. Those are people who are sort of like Floridians, where they don't want to leave.
Snowbirding it? Oh.
No, they live more away from cities, and you're not getting them out of their house. They're not. If you said Category 5 storm coming, you know how these people are. If you went to the Keys or Palm Beach or Tampa, and you tell everybody it's an emergency, it's a Category 5 storm, you must evacuate. There's always people that go, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving for anything. I'm staying here. This is my house, and I'll fight this storm out.
I was here for Andrew.
Yeah. I've done this before. I'm skilled. I'll be better off here than I will be anywhere else. There's all kinds of people who absolutely feel that way. Here is Swilly talking about invasive species. Swilly.
Hey, everybody. Happy today.
Hey.
So I had a question about invasive species. Y'all were talking about the parrots. And, we got plenty of invasive species around here. The little brown lizards you see, they were introduced in the 1970s.
Oh, yeah?
But my question is, how long does an organism have to exist in an ecosystem before it's considered native? For example,
I don't know.
I'm trying to plant all kinds of Florida native stuff around my house because I want to set it and forget it. So I went to a farmer's market and I bought a species of ground flower, which I thought was Florida native. It turns out it's technically called invasive, but it's been in Florida since the 1800s. So I don't know, where does that line drawn?
That's a good question.
Anyway, hope you guys have a good day. Okay, goodbye.
Oh, we got loud at the end. I thought that's an interesting question.
Since 1800s, you've established yourself as a native, I imagine.
You're not going to get it out at that point. If it's a plant or if it's an animal, it's that intertwined into the ecosystem that it's been around for 225 years. You might as well just embrace it. And I think that's what they do for the most part. But the pythons, I think, might be newer than that. The Florida battles. We have different ways to attack all these things. When we come back, jury duty is up next. And we have to talk about a couple of things, including something that happened in Spain. And Frankie Valli is stepping forward because everybody's very worried about Frankie Valli these days.
What do you mean, the robot?
Frankie Valli, who's on the stage looking like he's just barely alive. And he has something to say. We'll hear from him. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
You might not have many friends, but we definitely don't. So, hey Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
This is former Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Progressive Insurance.
The Eagles threw up another offensive dud in their loss to the Bucs, and we're getting more and more evidence that Nick Sirianni, the head coach, has no idea what he's doing. Yeah, there was the Super Bowl, but he was protected by his two ace coordinators. He doesn't call plays. Nick's not a great culture builder. We don't know if he gets along with his quarterback. Now, like last year, the Eagles are underachieving once again. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
That mortgage guy, Don, offers HELOCs. That's home equity lines of credit. This is a way to unlock your equity while keeping your super low 2, 3, or 4% rate intact on the first mortgage. Get cash out for some home improvements, debt consolidation, back taxes, etc. And unlike the other corner banks, that mortgage guy, Don, has HELOC options as low as a 640 credit score. Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote today with that mortgage guy, Don. Get a quote with no hard credit inquiry by going to thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter. You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Another month, another high utility bill. You know, those old windows and doors might be the culprit, letting valuable energy escape, and money too. Upgrade them with Renewal by Andersen. At Renewal by Andersen, their energy-efficient windows and doors have the latest advanced technology, keeping your home comfortable year-round, helping reduce your energy costs and make your home more eco-friendly too. Here's what Robert had to say just 3 days ago. Our experience with every employee of Renewal by Andersen was exceptional. The windows that were installed are better than expected. A big thank you. For the month of October, Renewal by Andersen is offering buy 4 windows and or patio doors, get the 5th one free. Plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Some restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for all the details. Again, that's bestwindowsflorida.com. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when.
Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I like a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Only at Lowe's, MVP Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500. Discount on eligible product only and reflected in quote. Restrictions apply. See Pro Desk for details. MVP Pro Rewards program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms subject to change.
This season on the new podcast, Rip Current, the story of the only 2 women who tried to assassinate an American president.
A woman fired a shot at President Ford in San Francisco this afternoon.
One was a protege of Charles Manson.
26-year-old Lynette Fromm, nicknamed Squeaky.
The other, a middle-aged housewife undercover for the FBI.
Identified by police as Sarah Jean Moore.
Listen to Rip Current on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Rip Current and start listening.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Join in on the chaos. We eagerly await your dispatch. This
And Jay Moody, the latest Secret Shows subscribers, you can unlock Secret Shows and get yourself a discount on all merch, including the latest merch drop at thenewsjunkie.com right now. We got jury duty coming up in just a moment here with some additional updates on what's happening with the hurricane, but it's at least worth pointing out here that we got kind of a World War III situation playing out.
The footage is wild.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to watch what's happening right now. If you don't know what's going on, there's a broader war between Israel and everybody around Israel. It's not the first time this has happened. It happens pretty frequently. And Israel has a lot of neighbors that are not too fond of it. This level of the war, this version of the war, launched off after the October 7th attacks on Israel, where you had these groups who were fighting for Hamas. They went into this rave and all these other places and just slaughtered a whole bunch of people. And Israel has now been, after that, making them pay for it and going after everybody. Hamas, Hezbollah, those are 2 terrorist organizations that have long hated Israel and want the country to cease to exist. But one thing I saw that just looks fake, I swear to you, this is one of the bombs that dropped, and it's just like in the ground.
God.
It's very strange to take a look at this.
And it didn't explode?
I don't know.
That's
It's like
massive.
It looks like Looney Tunes or something. There's just the end half of this bomb that is maybe 10 feet high or 12 feet high, and it's just in the ground. I put it up on See It Now since it's a visual over on the newsjunkie.com. That's one of these. And then I had some of the footage, probably like you guys are seeing on the TVs there back at HQ, where you see the rockets coming in.
My God.
There's a big rocket attack that was underway from Iran. This is them finally responding to what's going on. And Israel saying, we'll further respond to you. So to be clear, the Israeli fight is now on a lot of fronts. In Gaza and on the West Bank, which you could consider one place. In Lebanon, where they're attacking the terrorist group Hezbollah, and also the Houthis, who have been firing missiles everywhere for a while anyways. And Iran. And also there's some stuff that's happened in Syria, but mostly it's in those three places that they're fighting right now, leading to threats that this is going to be an even bigger war.
I mean, they're just dropping.
There's a lot. Yeah. And Iran said that they were going to respond to an attack that happened in their country a little while back now, and nothing happened. And then Israel has just been dominating these people. Their military is so far advanced. They're taking out people through explosive walkie-talkies and beepers and solar installations. And
that's the insane thing. That's the having all the pagers explode, all that stuff.
Yeah. Then they ran a marathon through Hezbollah's leadership and killed I think they killed every single member of the leadership in a matter of weeks. And so they've been stacking up the W's, and they knew it was at some point where these countries are going to respond. I know that they said there's been some people who have been killed by this and some people who have been injured by the missile strikes. I'm not sure if they're just targeting civilian installations outright. It happens a lot in Israel where they just end up targeting just people, just regular people, not military installations. So we see this happening, and it must suck to live in any of these places. Can't imagine missiles being fired on my neighborhood.
No.
We think we have problems. We don't have these kind of problems. So there they are. We'll see Israel's response. They say there'll be some response. It would be nice to get all this wrapped up and get some peace in the Middle East, but hasn't that been a thing that people have been saying for quite some time? Here goes nothing, friends. It's time for it. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go, just call Mo. It's 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. If you're injured in an accident, there are many attorneys out there. I encourage you to bring your case to Mo and the DeWitt Law Firm, because they will hear you out and they will fight for you. And that's the least you could ask. They are so great over there. And I think you're going to be in really good hands with your case. And go to the website, justcallmo.com, to get started today. They're saying there's looters in North Carolina and in several other areas where they've been hit by the Hurricane Helene. One spot in particular, this one was in Florida, in Madeira Beach. How do you say that? Madeira, by Tampa Bay. That area over there was looted. They had a Trump store that was in the area, and they particularly targeted the Trump store and they stole a bunch of their items in the storm. They said there was unsecured property at this place.
I got it. Ready?
Yeah.
Madeira Beach.
Madeira. All right, Madeira Beach, a city in the Tampa Bay area. Some looting taking place there. And I promised this, so let's just work it in after jury duty here. Frankie Valli. This is a guy who is super old school. He was the dude in front of the Four Seasons, Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons. And he performed some hits. I can't really name any Frankie Valli hits. What's the big song?
Grease is the world.
That's,
I thought,
and then also,
Grease?
the Grease theme, I'm very sure that it's Frankie Valli. If not, he's been doing it at those shows because I've been obsessed with these videos of him moving like a robot.
Yeah, he doesn't look great.
And then there was one I just heard the other day.
This says
December 1963.
Can't take my eyes off of you.
That's his song? Late December back in 63?
Yeah. Oh, what a night.
I thought that was a female that sang that song. That's been him the whole time?
You thought that was a female?
Yeah. Oh, what a night. I thought for sure that was a woman singing that song.
Oh, because he does that. Oh, I got a funny feeling. That thing. Yeah, that kind of sounds like a woman.
It's a great song. I just always thought it was a woman singing. It's Frankie Valli. He says, I get a chuckle from the comments wondering if somebody is forcing me to go on stage. Nobody has ever made me do anything I didn't want to do. He says, the Four Seasons sound was always about layering vocals and instruments. I sing. I have singers who sing, great arrangements, everything. And he said, I'm fine. I'm blessed to be 90 years old and still doing what I love to do as long as I'm able and audiences want to come see me. There's a thing that happens with rock stars where they kind of struggle with age. And I'll give you an example of this. I recently heard on Smart List, the podcast, Bon Jovi get interviewed. And the first thing that I thought was funny was Courtney goes, what's the name of his band? And I said, the name of his band is Bon Jovi. She goes, that's a stupid name. And I go, yeah, it's never going to work. It's never going to take off. They won't find any level of success. And Bon Jovi just had some sort of vocal surgery. And he's talking about changing the notes and the songs to be easier to sing.
Yeah.
And
taking a key down.
Key. Yeah, you change the key. And they said, why don't you just change to a different key so it's easier for you to sing the songs? And he said, no. He said, I'd rather never play again than change up the songs.
Okay,
so
buddy.
that,
well,
that
you know,
Fritz would tell you the complete opposite for Sabby's Little Helpers. I'm pretty sure every single song we played this last Just Okay was pitched down.
You got to find something in your vocal range. But for him, he says that's not how the song was made, and it makes him, I think, feel weak that he can't sing the songs like that anymore. And it was brought up to Bon Jovi that, hey, maybe some of this is your fans wanting to see you live, and it's a service to them that even if you can't sing it exactly like you did on the first CD or record, that you still do the performance. And he said, nope, never going to do it. The moment I can't sing those songs in the very key that I wrote them in, I'm hanging it up. I'm done. I'm never performing again. I, for one, would still like to see the band when they can't get to those perfect, notes and keys that they used to. I still think it's fine. I would still like to see Aerosmith. I've seen Aerosmith once, but I would love to go see them again. But same thing, aging rocker, he doesn't want to do it anymore. He says he can't sing like that anymore. And he called it off. So I think it's something that these rockers go through.
Yeah, but Aerosmith is one thing to say that, like, oh, I can't do this anymore. It's been a health issue for him. For Bon Jovi, yeah, he had the surgery, but to just say, like, I'm going to hang my hat up when I can't hit this note anymore, when I could easily take this down just a key or two, or sing it in a different, manner. It's just, it's weird.
I agree. I think it just makes them feel old and weak, and they don't like that, and they struggle to deal with it.
It's his life.
Well, yeah, it's true, as the song goes. When we come back, we're going to talk to the director of this movie, Off Ramp, that I talked about. How do you get down deep and figure out the world of the Juggalos? And how do you create a movie like he did with this indie comedy that I'm telling you is just really good? We'll learn. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win tickets to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all season long on our Instagram at Real Radio 1041.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Multiple lanes are blocked due to an accident on Highway 1792 southbound at Monroe Road. There's an earlier accident off to the side now on State Road 429 northbound before Florida's Turnpike. The right shoulder's blocked there. There's an earlier accident still causing a bit of delays where Welch Road meets Waukeeva Springs Road. Just travel with caution in these areas. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 in my garage after I overpaid for new blinds. I researched the industry, hired my mom, and 14 years later, we're one of the largest retailers of custom blinds in the U.S. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
know who to call to face an icy new evil in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire at Universal Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights August 30th to November 3rd. Not recommended for children under 13.
Log on to realradio.fm/contest for your chance to win tickets to Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. As the leader in identity theft protection, LifeLock reminds you to update your passwords. Using the same password across multiple accounts makes you vulnerable to cyber criminals. Updating your passwords is only one way to help protect yourself. For comprehensive identity theft protection, you need LifeLock. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes issues that arise. Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Are you considering GLP-1 medications like semaglutide for weight loss? If so, there's something you should know. In FDA trials, patients lost 13% of their body weight, but it took them 16 months with medication alone. Now, what if we could speed things up? Introducing the GLP Elite program from Red Mountain Weight Loss. We help speed your progress with a personalized meal plan and solutions to reduce side effects. For just $99 plus the cost of your meds, you can lose up to 15 pounds every month. And our expert clinical team tracks your progress every step of the way. For over 30 years, Red Mountain has been the trusted leader in medical weight loss, offering quality medications tested in an FDA-approved lab, so you can trust what's inside. Don't wait 16 months. Supercharge your weight loss for just $99 a month with GLP Elite, exclusively at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. Mortgage rates have improved again this week. Get your quote for a refinance to lower payments or get cash out at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With that mortgage guy, Don.com.
Wawa makes the right handcrafted beverages for the right time. And now, handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. Jump out of bed for a nice latte. Take a lunch break for a smoothie. Or celebrate with a late-night milkshake. Wawa makes the right beverages for the right time. Now at an even better price. Get smoothies, lattes, or any handcrafted 16-ounce or 24-ounce beverage for just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
Honey, I'm going to Wawa for dinner.
Okay, but Ben wants pizza.
Yep.
And Nick wants a burger and fries.
Right.
Oh, and the twins? They won't touch anything except for mac and cheese.
Exactly. Wawa has something for everyone for dinner, so I only have to make one stop to make everyone happy. So, what do you want?
Well, if you're going to Wawa, I have to have a hoagie.
From burgers to hoagies and everything in between, Wawa has dinner for everyone.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
Go to thenewsjunkie.com and grab yours now while you can. That is up on the website, right along with the podcast and everything else if you miss any of the show at thenewsjunkie.com. Earlier this week, I was telling you I had watched a new movie that I think is the best movie I've seen in 2024, and I want more people to see this. If you're into a great piece of storytelling, if you're into different subcultures and counterculture elements being explored, this movie Off Ramp is so good. It's so good and so well done. And I don't even know how Courtney ended up finding it. It was on some list she looked up somewhere. And I'll give you the overview here before we talk to the director, Nathan Tate. It says, filmed in New Orleans, Off Ramp tells the story of Trey and Silas, played by John Oswald and Scott Turner Schofield, a couple of lovable, degenerate juggalos who must sojourn through America's hellish underbelly to the gathering of the juggalos.
There's also a character's name we can't say.
Oh, man.
Yeah, unfortunately on the radio, not all of them transferred. Juggalos are fans of the hip hop group, Insane Clown Posse, and other artists signed to Psychopathic Records, their record label, and go on to talk about what a juggalo actually is. But first of all, Nathan Tate, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time, man.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm honored to be here.
And Nathan, I want to ask you, first of all, I don't even know if you're public or willing to say this. You could feel free to tell me. You just don't want to tell me. What was the budget on this film? What kind of money does it take to put together a piece of work like this?
Let's say it's well under $1 million.
Okay.
But it was something like that. They tell us not to say those things explicitly, but whatever. About $500,000.
All right. Here's why I say this. How is it that we see all of these movies? Megalopolis is an excellent example at the moment here. How is it we see all these movies with these massive bloated budgets? You filmed a movie that is beautiful to look at, incredibly well acted, but properly portrays the subject matter, has special effects, has a soundtrack, has all of these things on par with any other film you're going to see in theaters out there. Why do these movies get so bloated and out of control with their budgets when you clearly can make a high-end movie like yours for $500,000?
Well, thank you very much. It was a team effort. I spent a lot of time myself as a gaffer in the film industry here in New Orleans. And so I think I learned a lot of tricks of the trade and ways to sort of cut corners and called in a lot of favors. I think truthfully, I think a much better filmmaker than myself. I think somebody like Hitchcock or Kurosawa said you need 3 things to make a good movie. The script, the script, the script. And I think that that's very true, is that oftentimes people don't spend enough time on the script or they ignore that. And, that was always something that was very important to us. It took us a long time to make the movie. So we spent a lot of time kind of reworking the script and reworking it. So I would say, I don't know exactly how it happens, but I can also say that being in the film industry, I have seen a lot of waste. And I would like to eliminate some of that and try to do, as much as I can with what I have,
Yeah. So
how long ago did you start working on this?
About 2015. We first started working on the script about 2015, my co-writer Tim Cairo and I. And we then, as I said, I was a gaffer, so I kept kind of getting job offers and I would kind of go do those jobs and kind of put this on the back burner. And then 2020 during the pandemic, it was like we all had a lot of time to sit around and think. And I said, well, I'm not getting any younger. If I'm going to make a film, let's make it now. And that really was like kind of the impetus to really get it going at that point.
The storytelling in Off Ramp, this movie that you made, is so well done. But one of the things that must be a top-notch compliment is when you see the juggalos, and the story is built around the world of juggalos. And if you hear that and you go, oh my God, this is not for... that's just the story arc, right? And this is for general audiences. Everybody's going to like this movie, I think, for the most part. But when you're doing this and you see the very community that you're writing about say you did a really good job representing them, that's got to feel like a win, right? So how did you do that? How did you get into the world of Juggalos and ICP and all this stuff so that you could properly write characters that would seem legit to even the fans?
Well, thank you very much. I'm really honored to hear that. And honestly, every time a Juggalo watches a movie, I think I get more nervous than when other people do, just because, you know, you want to do right by them. But as far as my journey with it, I met, I was kind of fascinated by the world of Juggalos, and I thought it was such an interesting subculture. And I ended up getting introduced to this guy named Scotty D, who he runs a website called Fago Lovers Heaven. And he's like they have one of the biggest kind of ICP and the whole underground music scene, as they call it. It's one of the biggest fan sites. And so I really asked him a lot of questions. I got input on the script from him. And then when I went to the gathering in 2021, and of course I filmed the B-roll footage at the gathering in 2021. And I really got to know a lot of these folks and really kind of, just learned a lot more about who they were. And I think the thing that I think was so interesting is that, the Juggalos seem like someone who is they're an other, right? I think our film speaks to a lot of others. And I think, but what I really found was just very similar commonality to people who are genre film fans or hip hop fans, or, we're all just kind of looking for our tribe. And I think a lot of these folks are the same way.
True. You mentioned going to the gathering of the Juggalos to get footage for the film. At what point, you said this began around 2015-ish, at what point during the production and creation of the film did the Insane Clown Posse become sort of aware that this was going on? When did they catch wind of it?
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess they kind of got wind of it about the same time that I met with Scotty, because I contacted their manager to ask, to try to get rights to Miracles. And we kind of tried to involve them a little bit more, but they're a little hesitant, understandably so. I think a lot of people have portrayed Juggalos in a less positive light than we have.
Right. And, our government calling them, what was it? Domestic terrorists at some point?
Yeah, that's in the movie. Yeah. They talk about that in the movie, and all of these things were handled, I thought, in a really good way. And you could tell, just to hit you with some flattery here, that you did go over that script over and over and over and over until there wasn't a lot of fat on it, and it was right down to the key pieces of storytelling that you needed. But
thank you very much.
You got a killer performance out of a lot of the people that you had in this movie off ramp. Did they have to explore the world of Juggalos on their own and try to get into the mindset of one of these people that, they're a little different? They found their own community, and you got to understand where they're coming from, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I shared a lot of, documentaries and things with the cast. They took a lot of inspiration from that. I feel like we did, I feel proud of how like you said, we worked on the script for a very long time. So the kind of realer it got, the more kind of, I think more authentic it got. I think it was kind of easier for the actors to sort of dive into it. They did an incredible job. I mean, Scott and John as Silas and Trey, they just had amazing chemistry. And as soon as they met, they just really bonded, and everybody just really bought in, which is just, we're very lucky that they did. And I like to think that was a part of the script and a part of the kind of thing that we were trying to say. We're trying to say something kind of universal, even though it is said through a sort of different lens, if you will. But we really wanted to say something universal, which is that, hey, who among us has not felt like an outsider? Right. And if you haven't, I'm not necessarily, then fine, good for you.
Anyone can be down with the clown, right?
Yeah, exactly. Anybody can be down with the clown.
You're making a name for yourself now, Nathan Tape, with the movie Off Ramp. But do you look at where the movie industry is now and think, it seems to me, as a person not in the industry from a distance away, there's never been a time where you could do as much as you can now in terms of quality of filming, putting productions together yourself. 20 years ago, there was very little shot that somebody's going to make their own movie without a big studio involved. Now, it seems like if you have a great idea and you really work on things and you really put effort into it, people can do that. Like, it's more accessible now. Have you found that to be true?
100%. I mean, just will sound like the old guys in the room, but it's true is that, there's a lot of technological advancements that have been made in the last even 5 years. And like you said, over 20, it's just been a huge step. I mean, simply just like digital editing and digital photography has just, gained it's just moved the industry so much further along, and now lights are cheaper and everything's sort of like less expensive. That it did used to cost a lot more money to do things, and now you have a lot more freedom. Plus, I think storytelling has also evolved. Mm-hmm. I think one of the big movements that when I was in film school was Dogma 95. Lars von Trier, and I think that Dogma 95 really taught us. It was similar to where the French New Wave taught us before. But that, again, a story is really what's most important. And I think that storytelling, at its best, will transcend sort of the medium. So I think that, things have gotten a lot easier in a lot of ways. At the same time, what I also have sort of discovered is I think that, distribution because of streaming is also kind of harder in some ways because there's so much more content, and trying to kind of filter. Yeah, and try to kind of filter through that is kind of a challenge, Hey, last question that I had for you here was if you had another community that you could explore like this and create a film out of the fan base. The Juggalos is a super interesting one, obviously, and you got that done and behind you here. But is there another fan base that you would be interested in doing something like this with? Gosh, that's a good question. As far as like a musical fan base, I mean, I think the only real equivalent would be somewhere like, Deadheads or maybe like Fish fans or things like that. Yeah. But I'm not sure that that's exactly what I would want to do. I mean, I don't think that's as sexy as Juggalos. There's not as much shock factor I think anything you would learn from Deadheads or Fish Heads is pretty predictable.
I'd say mimes.
Yeah.
A group of mimes.
Mimes are
completely
good.
silent.
Yeah, mimes might good.
You talked about advances in technology making it easier for directors like yourself to pull off things like this on a smaller budget. Can you think of a scene or a shot in Off Ramp that you can look back on and think, man, a handful of years ago this would have cost thousands more dollars, and now we were able to do this in such a way, make it cheap, but also make it good? Yeah, I mean, all of them, I guess. But shooting in a car, filming in a car is something that it's an interesting one because a lot of people look at it as like a very challenging thing to do because the car's moving and there's all these other, and if you have to use, a process trailer, which is where you basically put the car on a trailer and it gets pulled by another truck and all that stuff, those things can be really costly. And we did none of that. We just basically, some of my experience in filmmaking I said, well, I'm not going to write this in a small car. We're going to write it in a big van so we can fit people in the back. There you go. So some of those kind of things, they gave us a little bit more space. And, even truly, we did a lot of exterior car-to-car stuff, which was something would have, 20 years ago really cost significantly higher, a larger amount of money. And we were able to do on a pretty small budget. I think just quite a lot of things. I mean, basically, almost everything. And just to give you a little behind the scenes sort of thing, we actually lost some footage and had to go back and do some reshoots. Oh, no. Which, for a low budget movie is a pretty massive hit, right? But truthfully, I will say too that the film got better as a result of that because we were able to edit it and kind of go back and look at what we were missing and kind of morph. So in the end, it was a blessing in disguise.
Oh God, I can't imagine that day though when you realized it was lost. How do you looked everywhere? I'm sure.
Yeah, it wasn't lost that way. If you get my drift, it was a hard drive that failed on us.
That was a bad movie joke on my part. Then.
It was but it was the day I started smoking again. So we'll put it like that.
Welcome back.
Hey, we want to offer ourselves up. If you ever need a radio show in any movie you make, we are here to be your radio show.
Awooga.
Yeah, we can pretend to be any sort of format, whatever you need. We are your radio people. But we appreciate the time. We got all the sound effects. Nathan Tape, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Nathan.
Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate you.
Go check out his movie. It's called Off Ramp. I told people that they could watch it on Amazon Prime and on YouTube. Where's the site? Where can people learn more about Off Ramp?
Offrampfilm.com. Offrampfilm.com will have a link to all the places you can see it. We have some merchandise there as well. On all of the socials, we're Off Ramp Film. Follow us on any of the socials. Please reach out. I answer DMs as much as I can. It's really just having the film connect with people is really the greatest gift that I could receive. So please go out, check it out, and ask me questions if you have some.
I would say if you like indie movies at all, there's about 100% chance that I think you'll like Off Ramp. The writing, the direction, all of it, you nailed it. So kudos to you, and I hope this gets even more attention, Nathan. And we'll talk to you sometime. Take it easy.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
There it goes.
Yes.
All right.
Whoop, whoop, baby. Whoop, whoop.
Quick break. When we come back, we'll get to you. Let's see what's on your mind. Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com to record yours right now. Also, we got to talk about a man who went to the Antiques Roadshow and got a big, gigantic surprise that nearly gave him a heart attack. What went down? Details coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a lot of congestion on Orlando Avenue in both directions between Fairbanks Avenue and Wilkinson Street. Authorities are clearing up an accident on Highway 1792 southbound near Monroe Road. Watch out for an accident off to the side now on State Road 429 northbound before Florida's Turnpike. Just travel with caution in these areas. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
Sponsored by Tijuana Flats, your home for National Taco Week now through Sunday.
The countdown is on, and there won't be another presidential debate before the election, but there will be a vice presidential debate. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz for the Democrats.
Kamala Harris is going to stand up and fight for your freedom.
And Ohio Senator J.D. Vance for the Republicans.
We're going to close down that border.
Two vice presidential hopefuls go one-on-one for the first and only time. Tonight at 9 Eastern, listen on iHeart's 24/7 News channel. Just open the free app and search Debate.
We've all made questionable decisions in life, like that time that you frosted the tips of your hair. But hiring an attorney shouldn't be. I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all injury cases. If you are not completely satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com.
Oh, here we go. The next generation of WWE superstars.
Welcome to NXT.
Has a new home.
NXT is moving to the CW.
The CW is the new home of NXT Wrestling.
This is gonna be fun.
Tonight, special guest CM Punk kicks things off live from Chicago.
Get hype, baby. Get pumped.
Don't miss the series premiere of NXT tonight on the CW.
Tonight, beginning at 8, only on CW18.
We all think about buying a house instead of renting, right?
But did you ever realize you're renting your electricity every single month? Yep, overpaying the power company and watching prices rise every year. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power with Solar Source? I started with my pool heater going solar, and now I'm thrilled with Solar Source's pay-as-you-go system, where I can save each month starting at only $99. Now, Solar Source isn't new to this game. They've been in business for nearly 40 years with the same phone number since 1984 and over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They are the company I trust. Are you ready to stop renting your electricity? Switch to Solar Source today and start owning your own power. Switch to Solar Source today by going to solarsource.com/monster. Honestly, going Solar Source has been the best thing we've done all year. I absolutely love the company, and you save more money when you tell them you know Russ Rollins. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman Lind. I bought a pair of Jordan 5s off eBay. They went through the authentication process. When they got here, something was wrong with them. I put them on and they immediately self-destructed. I contacted eBay. They said they weren't responsible. I filed multiple emails, photos, complaints. I didn't stop till I won. That's what I did for a pair of tennis shoes. Imagine what I would do for you. Contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333, offices Orlando.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter. You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This season on the new podcast, Rip Current, the story of the only two women who tried to assassinate an American president.
A woman fired a shot at President Ford in San Francisco this afternoon.
One was a protege of Charles Manson.
26-year-old Lynette Fromm, nicknamed Squeaky.
The other, a middle-aged housewife undercover for the FBI.
Identified by police as Sarah Jean Moore.
Listen to Rip Current on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Rip Current and start listening.
If you're looking for an opportunity to make a difference in your life and the lives of others, if you want to make an impact on your community, on the world around you, the VA is a place to be. Not only is it a place to be, it's a place that needs you.
Learn more at vacareers.va.gov.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles. Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and search the Beatles Now and Then and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio. Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
The game of magnets, taking over the world one terrible person at a time.
Puzzled today in Mega Chat, but we still want to lean on you. So support the big push for merch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com, YouTube, and grab your Is It Over Yet shirts right now. They said about 180 missiles in total were shot at Israel from Iran in this missile attack that's kind of unfolding today here, keeping an eye on that. They shot down, IDF did, a lot of those, and some of them still hit in these cities. And there was a simultaneous attack. I don't know if it was connected or not, but right at the same time, there was an attack where there was a mass shooting in Haifa in Israel. So possibly related to all of this. And a lot happening over there that has people very tense. R.I.P. to John Amos, not John Stamos, but... You probably know him. I was wondering when I saw this come across that John Amos had died.
Famous Amos?
I was wondering where I knew him from. It's not Famous Amos. No.
He's been in a bunch of stuff, but definitely Coming to America for me.
Yes. Yeah, and I don't know why it's just coming out now. This is August 21st was the date where he died, but I just saw the story about this.
They just announced it, which I thought that was weird, too, that they let it go that long. Well over a month.
I remember John Amos from Coming to America, Coming number 2 America, the reboot of the Coming to America franchise. Mm-hmm. He was in that, and he was very good. He was in Die Hard 2. He was in the original Coming to America. Yeah, he was in the original one, too, Coming to America. Beastmaster is an actor who's done a lot of stuff. He was in Roots, the miniseries, way back when, and Good Times was one that they mentioned in a lot of the headlines saying that John Amos has passed away.
Man, there's a lot of celeb deaths lately.
I was thinking that. I felt like there's been a lot of celebrities that have died in the last week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. It's been quite a few of them. And he's the latest here to add to that pile, even though he died back in August. They just now told us. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Christine emails. She says, I'm a podcast listener. I've never had any issues with skips on the podcast. I have an Android phone. I listen on iHeart, and I download the podcast every day to listen. That's the answer, folks. That's the answer. Many years ago, I had an issue with iHeart, and the solution provided was to go into settings and clear the cache for the app. Every 6 months, I clear my data for the iHeart app, and it has worked out. So you download the podcast over just streaming it, and you won't have the problem. Angus in Ontario, Canada says, I've listened for 7 years. I've never had a podcast skip around on iHeart. You've called me out for some info today, so I figured I'd email you. I love the show and share the show to everybody I know. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop, says Angus in Canada. Thanks, you, our Angus. Canadian friend. Over to you. Let's see what's going on in your world. Nice to talk about to that guy from Off Ramp. I would encourage you to watch that movie and then revisit the interview afterwards. Not a lot of people have seen it yet, but it really is a well-done thing. And I'm so blown away when I see a movie that cost, what was Megalopolis, $120 million? I know
it was 120 that Francis put down. I thought you had said
maybe
150.
Maybe 150 total with some marketing and other things that they put behind it. And does it look futuristic? Yeah, it appears to. But is it actually a good movie? And it comes down to you got to have a good story. You got to have good writing. And then if you have that base level in your movie, then you have to have good actors who can bring that writing to life. A long time ago, there was a movie on what's called The Blacklist. There's a thing called The Blacklist in Hollywood. And it's not black as in a bad way. These things on this blacklist in Hollywood are scripts that are highly sought but have not yet been sold. And if you look at these scripts, you can read them, and eventually they'll turn into movies. Eventually somebody will gobble up the script, just like I told you to gobble up the merch. And they'll take that product and turn it into a movie. And there was a script on The Blacklist that I read, because I read them from time to time, and it was called Everything Must Go. And it was about a man who was going through a divorce, and his life was falling apart, and he had to sell all of his stuff.
Oh, Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
At his house. Will Ferrell ended up being in this movie. The script was so good, but something went wrong. I don't know if Will Ferrell wasn't the right fit or that they just kept changing the script. The script was like a 10 out of 10 on its own. But then the movie comes out, and the movie wasn't that good. To me, it wasn't that great. It was okay. So you have to have all these things that you keep winning on. You win on the source material. You win on the script. You win on the actors. You win on the way it's shot and the cinematography. And if you get all of those right, maybe you'll get in somebody's living room and they'll give you a chance and watch it. Because just like the director said, there has never been a time when there's more competition for things to grab your attention, things to watch. So much. Here's Jay Ryan with a dispatch about Jean Smart here. Here we go. Hello?
Hey, Junkies. Yesterday, you kind of glossed over when Sean wasn't quite sure who Jean Smart was. She is a fantastic actress, TV, sitcom, legend, designing women. My favorite role that she did was either 24 as the First Lady, season 4. She was fantastic.
I remember
and then also this really short-lived Christina Applegate show called Samantha Who, where Christina Applegate was a horrible person who gets in an accident, amnesia, and then she starts to kind of remember who she is as it comes back to her. And Jean Smart plays her mom. She is extremely funny in that. Anyways, Jean Smart's a legend. Have a great day.
Yeah, I knew her. I just knew her from that Hacks show. I watched the first season of that, which I enjoyed.
Hacks
and
is great.
then
Second season's pretty good too.
I don't know why I fell off of that. Maybe too much time passed between season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
It just fell off the radar. But the first season was enjoyable.
Tale as old as time.
It's basically 2 different generations of women that are working together on comedy and them butting heads on certain things and then, commiserating on other things, and them working with each other makes for all these funny situations. It's good. I like that show.
I believe she won an Emmy for.
Did you?
Her role.
It was when it first came out. It was pretty popular. I don't know. It kind of seems like it's fallen off the radar a little bit. But I was aware of her. I just thought the way they handled their opening monologue with a song seemed weird, and the song wasn't very good. And she was better in the bits, but the opening is so much about what ideas they take and what the writers suggest and what the person wants to do. I don't know that was a real home run for her. Here's Twink Lettitz talking about Bon Jovi. Hello.
Hello, Junkies. So about the tuning down thing.
Oh, we're in your pocket.
I played in some bands and we've tuned down some material. Some material sounds all right, but if you're have a song that's in E and you tune it all the way down to D, once peppy, light-hearted sounding song now sounds like a kind of doom, sludgy song.
Yeah.
And also the vocalist is kind of singing in a lower key. It just doesn't deliver the right thing. It doesn't have the same feeling as in the original key. So I understand his hesitancy and anybody's hesitancy to play a song tuned down, because it does change the feeling of a song.
Right, but it's better than nothing, which is the alternative.
Well, so it's what Bon Jovi plans to offer is nothing.
Yeah, it's going to give us nothing if he can't sing, if he can't hit those notes after his surgery.
I mean, you're talking about taking a song down one full step. That's not a lot.
I don't even know if I would notice.
Some people can do half steps, and the singer can pull it off, and probably no one would notice.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick up on it, I don't think.
Just
maybe
if I was thinking about the rest of the band, the rest of the band is like, no, we have no problem. Let's pitch it down, man. We still need to, make money.
Yeah, he's just very stubborn about it. At least he was in that interview. He did not want to give any room for there being an opportunity for him to change his songs up when he gets older, or even now. There is a newly resurfaced clip. I love this guy from West Fargo, North Dakota. He was on Antiques Roadshow, which I always love the clips when people go to these things and they have no idea what they have. And hey, I got this watch here. Of course, this guy must have known some bit about it. But this man hit his knees when they told him that the Rolex was a very particular one and was worth. He bought it for less than $300, and I think they said it was worth $1 million now. And that's a win right there. I've seen this where people bring stuff.
Then Pawn Stars guy comes in and goes, "I'll give you $20K for it."
Best I could do is $20K. Sorry,
listen, I got to make money too.
Everybody's got to make money on this one. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do this: final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut, and today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. That's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, it's National Taco Day. Plus, we'll talk vice presidential debate. We'll do the Froggers football follow-up. 4 o'clock, it's What'd You Do That's New. At 4:20, the Promenade comes in for the Best Of Challenge. At 5:20, it's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. For trivia, it's tickets to Halloween Horror Nights. Plus, your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Today we'll top out at 92 degrees. Temperatures about 4 degrees warmer than normal. That'll lead to a likelihood of thunderstorms this afternoon. Between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m., there's a 60 to 80% chance for rain. We're going to see numerous downpours, lightning, wind gusts to 40 miles per hour. Now, for the balance of the work week, our rain chances will be a little lower at just 40%. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Holiday hosting starts at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances, plus save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances, $899 or more. Valid through 10/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Guys, let me tell you about Blue Chew. It is a unique online service that gives you the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but this is chewable and it's a fraction of the cost. If you've been thinking about upping your game in the bedroom, this is the perfect way to do it. And I've got a deal that's just unbeatable. If you're curious, give it a try. Blue Chew's tablets are a performance enhancement for the bedroom. They can help men gain extra confidence when it's time to perform, and it's an online prescription service. So you got all the anonymity you're going to need. It ships right to your door in a discreet package. You don't have to go to the doctor's office, even though you shouldn't be worried about that. It's just better to have this all done online. And it's a nice, easy process. They also say their pills are better because you don't have to swallow these. You just chew them. They're tablets that Blue Chew has for you, and they're made in the USA. They prepare and ship direct. It's cheaper than a pharmacy. It's time for you to try it out. Here's a special for you. Try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code TNJ at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's it, and you get yours. That's BlueChew.com, promo code TNJ. You're going to get your first month free. Check them out at BlueChew.com.
We are connected internationally with relationships in the diamond industry that go back decades, sources all over the world.
International Diamond Center's owner Keith LeClaire explains how IDC always offers to beat anyone else's price on a diamond.
We buy direct from the cutters, we pay cash, and we just don't believe in typical jewelry store markups.
With his background as a wholesaler, Keith says IDC's business model is based on lower margins and higher volume.
We're not here to sell you something for a quick buck.
So it comes down to better sourcing and low markups.
That's why we guarantee the best value price.
If you're buying a diamond, engagement ring, or any fashion jewelry, come experience a refreshing alternative to the typical jewelry experience at IDC.
We're here to offer the right price on every piece of jewelry that you buy from IDC.
Real value from real people.
We'd rather make a little bit and keep you as a customer than make a lot of it and lose you as a customer.
International Diamond Center, all 4 Orlando locations, and online shopidc.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Are you considering GLP-1 medications like semaglutide for weight loss? If so, there's something you should know. In FDA trials, patients lost 13% of their body weight, but it took them 16 months with medication alone. Now, what if we could speed things up? Introducing the GLP Elite program from Red Mountain Weight Loss. We help speed your progress with a personalized meal plan and solutions to reduce side effects. For just $99 plus the cost of your meds, you can lose up to 15 pounds every month. And our expert clinical team tracks your progress every step of the way. For over 30 years, Red Mountain has been the trusted leader in medical weight loss, offering quality medications tested in an FDA-approved lab, so you can trust what's inside. Don't wait 16 months. Supercharge your weight loss for just $99 a month with GLP Elite, exclusively at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com.
Tim Walz of Minnesota.
I couldn't be prouder to be on this ticket.
J.D. Vance of Ohio.
I will give you everything I have. Make their case for your vote in the vice presidential debate. Listen on iHeart's 24/7 news channel.
Search debate on the free iHeartRadio app.
Lose your key? Don't get stuck without a spare. At Batteries Plus, you can get a key fob for up to 50% less than what a dealership would charge. Keys cut, key fobs programmed, and batteries replaced on the spot. Avoid a car key catastrophe. Get a spare key today at Batteries Plus.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Sunset Walk Best of Challenge. Tickets on sale now at sunsetwalk.com.
Filling in the gaps between the New York Times and World Star. This is
The cut, and today we're going to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. And thank you to everybody for hanging out with us today.
Good times.
We love you. We appreciate you. We hope you're going to check out the new design drop. It's available for you right now at thenewsjunkie.com. Show your support for the show. Get some great merch, short sleeve shirt, long sleeve shirt, different colors.
Some as big as your head.
Every one of them comes with a magnet. Somebody asked me, they said, if I buy 2 shirts, do I get 2 magnets? Yes, every shirt that you buy comes with a magnet and a sticker. So if you buy 2, you get 2 magnets, 2 stickers, 3, so on and so forth. You understand how it works. Just to the person who emailed that, there's your clarification. Thank you, YouTube. Even though we completely silenced you for the day and your comments weren't coming up in the chat at all, you still stood up.
It's embarrassing, YouTube.
And supported the show, even though it's been a tough day for you.
I should go on YouTube and see if they're just talking mad S.
they're talking about another show at this point. They're like, we're done. We're out of here. Let's get to a couple of emails on the way out before we get to everything we need to do to wrap up the show today. And Chi-Town Sweetie says, good day, junkies. My friend is missing in Costa Rica.
You want to try that email again with that so much happiness behind, Sean?
My friend is missing in Costa Rica. Hold on. My friend is missing in Costa Rica.
There we go.
She's been experiencing a religious psychosis of sorts and has a history of narcolepsy and other psychosis. I don't know if this link will work for you, but you can search Costa Rica missing person Hannah Beaudry. See if there's any news stories about this. Hannah, Hannah, Beaudry, Beaudry is the name of the woman. I don't know what kind of reach she might have, but she's a very talented and beautiful soul, says Chi-Town Sweetie.
Without even hitting enter, I have Hannah Beaudry, Costa Rica, Hannah Beaudry missing.
Wow. Let's see. Is there a story with some of the details about what the hell happened here? That's kind of scary to hear. And certainly we'll try to get the word out as much as we possibly can from this level. Let me know when you see that, Seelan. Jeff emails, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. You mentioned Pete Rose getting into the Hall of Fame now that he's dead. That's not possible. The gambling rule with the MLB is a permanent ban and not a lifetime ban, which is why shoeless Joe Jackson is not in the Hall of Fame. Also, in 1991, the Hall of Fame passed a rule that said anybody banned by the MLB is not eligible for the Hall of Fame voting. It is wrong that Rose is not allowed in, given the relationship that the MLB has with gambling sites now. Love the show. I've listened since 2013. This guy's been around for a while. Sean, could you please pick me for Fritz on the street tomorrow? Keep up the great work, Jeff. Jeff, all right, I'll put you over to the side here and consider that. Philip emails, just got home from my anniversary vacation, opened to check in the mail for some mailbox monies. I got $63. What a way to be greeted home from vacation.
Nice.
That's why you listen to our mailbox money stories and apply for them. Free money. And MR says, I agree, Sean. It's like I always say, don't ever, for any reason, do anything to anyone for any reason, ever, no matter what, no matter where or who you are with, or where you're going, or where you've been, ever, for any reason whatsoever, MR. I realized I was doing that in the middle of that particular moment. And I was like, I am Michael Scotting this up right now. Where am I going? From The Office, if you're not familiar.
Sometimes I start sentences.
And I don't know where they're going. Sour Patch Pete says, Sean is not great at finding people, though. How dare you?
One of these days.
That woman's father is out there somewhere.
Both of her parents, you said.
Didn't locate him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Let's do the final dispatches right now.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
All right, let's see what we got on the way out.
Actually, lost more parents than you found.
I mean, facts.
How rude. All right, over to Miami native Mike with a dispatch about octogenarians. People in their 80s is what he's saying there, just in case you didn't pick up on that. Here's Miami native Mike. Hello?
Good day, news junkies. Sean, I don't know what's in the water, but the Octarians are all checking out.
Octarians?
They just put a news alert that John Amos just died at 84.
Yeah.
Don't drink the water.
All right.
Later, junkies.
We got a video dispatch. Let's peek into this one. I see your leg. That's it. That's all he's showing us.
Give him a star, please. Thank you.
It was very brief. It didn't really get to the point. But we'll do one more. Here's Loki.
Hey, junkies.
Hey.
Just getting back from up north on restoration. We put almost 1 million people back in.
Oh, good for you, sir.
Power. And I have family up in the Carolinas and Tennessee. How about we stop giving other countries hundreds of billions of dollars, like Ukraine and Israel?
America first guy here.
Awful. We need to help our people. Just rewind back to Hawaii. $700. Good luck. Just saying.
All right.
We need to stop this support for Israel. They're not our friend. They never have been. Anyway,
damn, Israel taking strays in the North Carolina hurricane debate here. I did not expect that. Let's do the stories that didn't make the cut. Brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage.
Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving services. These guys are the best. They helped me when I moved, and they had everything done in a matter of hours. It would have taken me so long and so much, sweat. I would have been just
achy,
pissed the whole time. It's not a fun thing. You forget the stress. You move with the best. You go to Cento Family Moving and Storage. Get a quote today on their website, centomoving.com, CENTO moving.com.
At a Spanish festival in Valencia, an out-of-control boar gored a woman to death.
A gore boar? Bull
gore, actually. The 60-year-old woman in a red outfit, so maybe that did something for the bull, even though they're colorblind, I think. Anguera, near the city of Valencia, the bull charged the woman from behind, sending her crashing to the ground. Don't watch the video. It's a little brutal, but, bulls do these things. And that's going to have to do it here on National Taco Day. Let's get the hell out of the way. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
When I do the ramp up for Today I Learned, I feel a little bit like Frankie McDonald when I say that. Let's do Today I Learned. I feel a little Frankie McDonald-esque. It's Today I Learned for a Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. Today I Learned in this movie right here.
Not Jaws.
Is enough.
Oh,
I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. Everybody strap in.
The famous line, I've had it with these MFing snakes on this MFing plane in the theatrical cut of Snakes on a Plane, didn't come from the original screenplay. It was inspired by a fan-made trailer for the movie, and they said, we got to put this in there. It's funny. It works. Let's go for it. And the rest is history. And finally, today I learned this band right here.
Edward Sharp and the Magnetic Zeros.
Bingo. There you go. Teamwork. Today I learned Heath Ledger gave Edward Sharp and the Magnetic Zeros the cash they needed so they could record their first album. It was back in 2007 when he saw him in Hollywood, California. Said, you guys are good. Get in there and record something. And they made a hit out of this song, Home.
Hippies.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed the show? Get the